Eh, okay, we're good. Um, Go ahead, brother Eric.
Well, I would like to say greetings.
And well as you.
Yes, yes, yes. That's WHALE and WELL as far as the bottoms can go. And I would just love to thank you, Babu Siku, for opening up the Ring and Stone Network so we can ring out. And also, before we get into the build, I'd like to say jade, the green stone. Jade is one of the stones that if you hit it in the right spot, it'll ring. It's one of the stones that has a ring. It rings like a bell. Jade. And so that's a pyroxene, and we'll be definitely getting into the pyroxene fires as we travel along this road. But I just wanted to make a call a bill to speak on some of the events that's taking place, and we could build a share, come up with some solutions to maybe some situations people are in, health problems, financial problems, just some solutions. And I think it's a high electrical minefield bill with the title, which is Piezo hypnosis. All right, and if we read from right to left, you'll see that silica right there in the Gnosis at the end over there, that SI, right? And then there's a
Mhm.
song, Gnosis. There's a song right there, right after that chorus. There's a song, all right. And then if we keep going, yeah, you see that hip. That hip represents a lot of things. The hip represents hip hop and Kendrick Lamar and the halftime show in New Orleans, which is a magical city. And also it represents the phi ratio, which is today a phi, and Philadelphia, which is a phi ratio city. And then we seen a game of the Wizard of Oz in the Emerald City. So there's Oz on the Piezo. If you go right from left, there's the Wizard of Oz is right there. An explanation, and there you have the E again, which is the phi ratio, and then pi right in our face. Somebody got hit in the face with a pie today. So yeah, right. So I think it's very brain stimulating and very healing to the heart, to the mind, to the whole body politic. And we was actually looking at a game of politics, a game of banking, a game of signatures, because we are the beneficiary of every signature. But sometimes we just don't know, how we got entangled with these quantum entanglements that we just walked into and we didn't understand what we were signing. So we're here to look at that today. Our signature, which is everybody has their own design signature, which is very special. And man, we're just gonna walk down this yellow brick road. And I'm so thankful to have the guests that we have with us today to walk down this road. We got the lion, which is not a coward no more. The cowardly lion woke up in the game and hurt the other team. Jalen Hurts. I got my Alexander right, and the brother, the quarterback who won the MVP of the game, is Jalen Alexander Hurts, right? Which is the initials is John. I didn't make it up. It's right there for the world to see on the one, wearing the number one.
Mhm.
That's MVP. So, man, I mean, what more do you want to build on? It's already, the cake is ready to eat. You know what I mean? It was already built up in nature. So, yeah, just to start it off, New Orleans, we know about the cat. We know how Katrina came in New Orleans and, man, made a mess of the place, but also exposed deep underground going ons in the place. Just like when the hurricanes hit Houston. After the water exceeded, we found out, man, there was a lot of corruption going on in the city and the county and the state and the government. So so the city is surrounded by water. So we're here to get it in, y'all. We familiar with courts, but courts always has a lesson to teach us. So Bob Lester, we talked a little bit about the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, and its connection to the vein all the way out to Delaware. We've talked about it many
Yep.
times. The Herkimer Diamonds in New York, and as you go down the river, like you talked about the tumblestones, and
Mhm.
that's amazing that California talks about her tumblestones. So yeah, let's get into it, Bob. Let's talk about that region over there, the corroded mountains of Pennsylvania and that region over there. Let's walk into this and let's talk about it. Let's open it up a little bit, and then we'll get into some more of it a little bit later. Please, Baba Lester.
Okay, well, we've got younger mountain ranges that's out in the west, the Rocky Mountains, and then we've got the elder mountain range over here on the east coast. And just to start off the conversation, uh, many of the mountains, especially in Vermont, but also in West Virginia and Virginia, inside of those mountains is, in other words, the core of the mountain is nothing but solid quartz. So we may have the physical material on top of that, but there's tons and tons of quartz. Over time, of course, nature and water will, will break apart some of these things, and they'll go into the streams and then eventually down into the rivers. So for over hundreds and thousands of years, they start to round off these small gemstones. There was a location close to where I lived in West Virginia where you would get into, this was just a stream. So the water was, a little bit higher than ankle deep. And you reach down and there's 400 types of gemstones right as the riverbed.
Whoa, 400 types.
Yes, you had all kinds of stuff. You had your pyroxenes, you had amethyst, and you just, all you had to do is just reach your hand in the water and pull it up, and you'd have 50 or 60 small crystals. And also, of course, any member of the quartz family is going to help to purify the water in the river. If we were to stop putting more pollution into the rivers, the quartz would clean up the water itself.
Makes a lot of sense. Make a lot of dollars. Yeah. Wow.
Well, see, once again, this whole production, the way that the earth makes all these gemstones and then finds a way for us to easily gather them, that's an ongoing process. Unfortunately for us, we have things like the Army Corps of Engineers who over the years have gone in and straightened out many of these rivers. So you don't have the serpentine curvilinear nature of the river, which helps to tumble the stones.
Wow. Yes. And serpentine is that, and it's funny when you start talking about olivine, pyroxene, all the associated minerals with that class. Man, serpentine is way down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then when you bring it up to the surface and start to talk about it, I mean, Earth, Wind, and Fire told us that that's what the serpentine fire. That's where it is, right there. Yeah, and we in the year of the Chinese snake. Let's not forget, y'all. Kobe Bryant was in the house. That did up, So yeah, just factor that in with the Ohio Valley having the Serpent Mound and the eagle right there next door in Philadelphia, reaching out to get that serpent in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? So he can get that Kundalini juice to go up to the brain, just like the flag of Mexico. Saying, so we in those times. We in those times of return where everybody must get paid for the work that they did. So yeah, man, it's fascinating where we are, yo. I look at planes falling. I'm like, yo, I mean, man, it's amazing, man. It really is. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just looking at it like, man, wow, look what's unfolding in my own life too, in my own heart. Things that's going on. How I see things. How I've been dealing with things in the past. Got to clean a couple things up. So yeah, I don't have time to be looking out here judging what's going on. I just say, whatever's on the outside going on the inside. So yeah, I'm dealing with it, man. It's fascinating. It's really interesting. Yeah, California. So Baba said he had somebody with him, Fatima.
Sisters Satima here and Dr. Excuse me, I got something in my Dr. Madeline. I think they're new too. And she showed too, which was cool. I invited, but I don't know Mama, where you at?
I'm here. I'm
Okay.
listening to all this good conversation.
Okay, cool. You all right? Mama came
Yeah,
out
I'm
to
fine. Hmm.
and she came out and shared one of our Arkansas trips with her, where I met her at. Yeah. Not all that course. And it's deep though, because the last time I made a trip, there was a sister, Khadija, and she was on the cane, y'all. And after she spent, oh, those 4 days in that Crystal City, she was not using that cane.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
that's
was
what he's talking
not
about.
being
Yeah,
just being
yeah.
around all, and she was from Philly. Actually, they from Philly. Her and her son came from Philly. But once she got, out there at hot springs and started chilling and she swam in that water, which is full of quartz, like what Bob was saying, and just being there and sleeping in it in the quartz like that, because in Arkansas, you basically go into a crystal palace. You just on the surface of it.
Mm-hmm.
And basically whatever it did, it resonated. She started healing fast. You hear me? Yeah.
Well,
But
one of the names of Arkansas is Arkadelphia. That's Philadelphia and Arkansas vein, the same
mm,
vein. And the emerald goes from Arkansas, which is part of Kansas. It's Ark, Kansas. So that's Kansas City, Missouri, that Emerald City, which Kansas City was in the game 3 times in a row, which, you already know they showing us the Emerald City. And all the way up, that's right, all the way up to Philly. That's all Emerald City. They call Philly the Greenstone State. It's also the city of seven sisters, right? Got Seven Notch Mountain, all these sevens over there. I've been pulling up articles about Philly and the sevens. And man, the quarterback was born on August the 7th. A Leo, y'all. Come on, man. This stuff is
and
magical.
and
Uh-huh.
Pennsylvania
Go ahead.
Pennsylvania does have a ringing stones park too. I haven't been to it
What?
yet. I hadn't. Yeah, but they got a park. You go in the park, they give you a hammer, you go out there and just start hitting that silica, and it rings like a bell. That was one of the reasons where, when I started the Ringing Stone Network was that offshoot for that park and, the park down in South Africa or Tanzania. Yeah. But they have one right there and it's an hour or so outside of Philly. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, look at that.
Because
Look at that. Yeah,
remember Michael
magic.
Tillinger demonstrated that he found that
Uh-huh.
silk and he had to, and he took that hammer and hit that jump. Oh, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, that's good. I'm gonna name my place after it. Even use my logo from one of the and they don't really know what they were doing with those silica designs that our ancestors did many years ago. But they do have one in the United States in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Wow. Look at that. Man, come on now. That's why this call. That's why and whoever logs on to this call years ahead, months ahead, minutes ahead, hours ahead, yo, man, I'll tell you these downloads, man, you can't make it up. This stuff is just stacking on top of each other naturally. Like when you stack stones, that's what they do. Pressure on top of pressure on top of pressure creates that thing to light up. And don't forget, y'all, the visiting Jesuits, Dutch, all the people that came here and corroded and interrupted the vibration of this land with the indigenous peoples here. Their goal is to fix that Liberty Bell because the Liberty Bell cracked when they moved the natives off the land. That's what happened to the Liberty. The people were one with the land. So when you move a people off the land, the things that's fixed on the land, the ringing stones, they will. Even the Bible say the stones will cry out. So
Mm-hmm.
they trying to fix what they done because they know they owe the people and nature is making them pay. So that's why our signature. So signature starts with SI. That's
Well,
silica.
can I give you another example of a cracked bell?
Please.
And see what you think about it. I think at the 1st of January, maybe mid-January, the Pope was talking about opening these 5 portals, right? 30 days later, he in critical condition. You see what I mean? So what kind of energy was this man playing with that he couldn't handle it? You follow what I mean? Like that. And
Yeah.
and I'm not, I'm serious. I was landed this morning thinking about it. I'm like, man, this dude was supposed to open 5 portals. And I don't know if he did or not. There's some people that said he made an announcement that he was making a portal for the world. I just know a friend of mine, at the time it was happening, a friend of mine, unfortunately, she couldn't come. She sent me a picture like in Italy where they had a lady, they made a float of of an indigenous lady in a red jumpsuit with chains, and she was bound in chains and whatnot. And it had America on the front of it, as if to indicate that the black woman was going to get chained up and bound again. But this was Italy. You see what I mean? So when her and I were talking about it, she was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Well, if the Pope didn't open these portals, maybe the portals he's trying to use is to chain y'all up because y'all supposed to be free and claiming the Americas," which is another topic. However, it's just interesting because this man got double pneumonia now, supposedly. You know what I mean? In his lungs. And sometimes when you're doing high level rituals, your system got to be clean. You follow what I mean? Like that.
Mm-hmm.
You got, or you better have some organ on, a lot of organ, right, or something, because things can. I hear you, Lester. I know you're going to elaborate on this, but things can reverberate back on you. That energy just
Yeah.
don't always have to go out, right? So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know, why you opening 5 portals and then 30 days later you on the edge of life? You know what I mean? There's a correlation with that. You know what I mean? I've done some work before and had like pneumonia. You know what I mean? Well, flu. I've got the flu because I opened that portal and it wasn't the time to open that portal. And I wasn't listening to the ancestors because I'm Aries. And it was one of my lessons that they wanted me to learn, that, you know, they wanted me to learn that
Ram tough.
things. Yay, thank you. They taught me things work on their time, not my time. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
learned that. You see what I mean? I started, and it's a lesson that it's certain lessons you never forget, and that was a lesson I learned. Just shut my mouth. If I gotta wait another 30 days because I missed the time, boom. But why is he that sick? Even though he's 80 some years old, but then again, you know, could some of that reverberate back? And so it's something to think about. Just like, it's a thing with these helicopters. This has been 3 years in a row that they've been doing a helicopter ritual. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But anyway, I yield. I yield. I'm taking this off topic.
Well, I just want to comment on a couple of things to back up what you were talking about. You know, the piezoelectric effect um, is when it comes to quartz, any pressure that we put on the quartz crystal will result in an instantaneous discharge coming out of the termination, which we call the point. Um, and I want to emphasize that it's instantaneous. In other words, the energy doesn't necessarily travel through the crystal. It's the moment you press it, that's the same moment we see the expression of the electrons coming. Well, we don't see it, but the point is that it is an old time Native American ritual to uh, hit pieces of quartz specifically at night, because you can actually get a illuminated discharge. So you can actually see the light coming out of the crystal.
Wow. Gotta try it. I got it. Well, actually, I experienced that up in Vermont. Bob was speaking of Vermont, walking in the woods at night. I said, man, what is that? Man, what is that sparkling in the night right there? What is that? He said, of course, that's like a 6,000-foot mountain. We'll see it in the morning. So yeah, I'm standing up looking at this giant rose quartz. Actually, it was rose. Rose. I took a picture of it. Yeah, I got on top of it, took a picture, and just a used rose quartz mountain. I know Kafunya said she was gonna skip down to Nicholas. I want to know if she can give us a few chimes on one of her crystal bowls, if she have it available. Tune us up a little bit. Kafunya, you still there? She must have stepped away.
I am.
All right. Yeah.
So do you want me to chime in with the rose quartz?
Please. If you don't, if that's cool, Babu USIKU.
Hey, I'm just the audio man. You're the host. It's just
Hold on a
All
second.
right. All right then. Yeah, yeah. So oh man. So yeah, I went Philly, man. When you start going into Philly, it's hard to leave because you have the Mandela effect, you have the Philly experiment, you have all the things that Ross Ben, big up Ross Ben, all the things that Ross Ben have covered over the years, and him and Michael Wands, their excellent research on the 40th parallel. Man, I mean, it's never ended, man, with Philly, and wow, I mean, I'm not surprised, man. Not surprised at the event. There's nobody won or lost in that game. It was just a natural thing. It's just for us something to pay attention to, to pay close attention. And the score was 44. What? 40, 40, come on, man.
Yeah,
44.
44.
Come
Come
on,
Okay,
man.
on, man.
let me know if you can hear it.
Oh yeah.
This is the 100% quartz rose, made out of rose quartz crystal. This is the love frequency that the world, the universe, and the earth is wanting and needing. So even if you don't hear the sound, it's still vibrating through the glass window, through the sun that's shining through my window. And I rung it in the final part 7 times. So thank you for allowing me to ring this rose quartz crystal bowl. And I also sell them as well. So if people are interested in getting, we call these the alchemy bowls, but we also have the 99.9 crystal bowls as well, which is a little bit less than the alchemy bowls. This particularly, this particular rose quartz is in the key of D, and this one retails for, listen to the number, 1100. The master number 11. So thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you.
Thank you.
Did it come through clearly? Hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yep.
it
yes,
did.
Yes.
it
It
did.
did.
It did.
It did.
Okay, okay. I'm just making sure because sometimes when I do these live things, I just check to make sure that my performance audio was on the Zoom. So thank you so much. I'm going to tune in. I'm going to stay on until I have to leave to go to Brooklyn. And Lister, call me at
Uh-huh.
3. Yeah, call me at 347-972-0901. We may want to have you with Ross Ben when he comes next month.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Yeah, and it will be live streamed as well.
Oh,
Oh.
I
Excuse me,
love
sis.
it.
Where will it be live streamed at? Greetings, greetings.
From
Eddie.
Nicholas, Brooklyn. From Nicholas, Brooklyn. We always live stream our events.
Okay, and
Okay.
what's
And
the
what's the
time?
time?
The date may be March 18th, but I will let you know. I will let Ross E know when it is so he can let his audience know when to tune in.
I
I
say.
say.
Asheo.
Big up, brother Eddie.
Salutations, Silicano. Peace, peace.
Yeah.
Glad everybody's doing well.
Yes, yes. Yeah, what's up over there in the Cackalack, man? The Carolinas, man. What you got? Beam us up with some of your courts news. What you got going on?
Man, 60 degrees, that's about it, man. Sky is clear. You know, heaven and hell is in the mind. So I watch my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Getting
yes.
better.
Yeah, yeah. Man, a lot of lithium exposures, y'all. I don't know why they so crazy about lithium, but I know when you look at a lion, let's go back to the word lion. The
Fella.
lithium is right there.
Uh-huh.
Huh? Yeah, the lithium is right there in the first two letters of lion, and then you have the ion. So a lion is a
Mm.
charged particle, and he's both negative and positive. Go
That's
out there
right.
and mess
That's right.
Go out there and mess with him and see. You'll find out real quick. Don't mess with the sleeping lion. That's what's going on, y'all. They listen, y'all. I keep saying they. It's just like They Live. The movie They Live.
Mm.
They yet evil. They live yet evil. So when y'all know when I say they, y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. The time is up, man. They woke up the sleeping lion. That game show you that there's no cowardly lion in the line of Judah. There's no cowards over there. And they changed the cows to the cattail. What they still telling you that we the cats. Cattail slavery.
Mm-hmm.
You can't keep
Mm-hmm.
everybody know you can't slave a cat, man. I don't care. You can put him in bars if you want to, man. You wake up one day, that cat sitting on your counter. One creature I don't mess with, man, is a cat. I don't mess with
Yep.
cats, man. I give them they respect, man, for real. That's one creature I
Well,
don't mess with, man. I just watch. Go ahead, brother Eddie.
yeah. Well, I'll just add to that. There is no disrespect if you respect yourself, you know. So
Uh
it's just
huh.
that simple. We respect all things if we respect ourselves. But what I wanted to say was, this brother down here, he makes jewelry, and about 2 weeks ago, he told me about this flea market that he goes to, and they only open on Sundays, right? Sunny day, Sunday, right? It's out in the country. So I get there late, but I'm talking to him at the table. I look down on the ground. I see quartz crystals, bruh. So I said, man, you dropped some crystals on the ground? He said, nah, man, they're all over the place here. I said, what? I picked that joint up. Man, I took 2 steps. There was another one. I said, man, they just on the ground. And the only other place I've heard about that at is when I was up top. There was this African girl that worked at KFC. My ex-wife used to be a manager there. Oh shit, this being recorded. Anyway, um, she she was from Africa. Her family was goat sheep herders, whatever the case may be. Anyway, when she came back, man, she brought back some diamonds. I said, "Oh, y'all family got diamonds mines?" She said, "No, they just laying all over our land." And she brought them back to America. You know, that kind of amazed me. I'm just saying. I mean, I haven't been in a lot of places, but overall, just to know that crystals are just laying on the ground here in the Cacni, ain't no telling, what that land was 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago. But the reality is, it's just a field. Got a lot of pecan trees, but overall, quartz crystals just laying on the ground everywhere. You can't walk out there barefoot. You probably cut your feet up. Isn't that amazing? Not well. You can probably
Yeah,
know about it, but I was amazed, bro. I ain't never been to a place down here like that.
yeah, it's like that everywhere. Everywhere I try. That's why I walk the geography and check out the geology. And man, I'm telling you, man, it's there. It's there. I haven't been a place yet there wasn't crystals, man. Everywhere, in all different types. That's what I love, man. It's just amazing. And what's funny, it's just like water, how we can program water by speaking to it. It's the same with crystal. You put your beam out, and then they call you. I'm over here. Amen.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Our family want to meet you. Come over here, and then if you're not supposed to take them, there'll be signs for you not to touch them. Leave them there. They want to stay as a family. They won't give you permission to take every crystal is not to pick up and put in your pocket. We've had to take some crystals back because of dreams we had. Like, man, he got to go back to his family. You got to take this crystal back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Very intelligent, high creatures.
Wow.
The Encyclopedia of Star Wars calls the smoky quartz the oldest living being on the planet. Smoky quartz crystal. And that is the most intuitive, everything, the most healing, everything. Smoky. And then the next being on after that, the most eldest and the most wisest and the most fierce was the cat people. That's in the book called The Encyclopedia of Star Wars Characters, which is an amazing book. It shows you all the different types of characters that's lived on this planet for billions of years and have now gone on to other dimensions. But the cat people were the most fierce, the most intuitive, fourth dimension, fifth dimension. They can climb different dimensions, walk the wall, telepathy. That's nothing. That's baby stuff to them. They got other stuff going on, advanced technologies, living underground. Oh man, all kind of crazy stuff. So yeah, I was fascinated by that. Yeah, I yield.
But the quartz being laying around also denotes our level of consciousness. You know what I mean? Because it's been around for a long, long time, but now we're starting to know it. As a people become more conscious, we're starting to notice the things around us. You know what I mean? Like I've had people to call me and like USIKU is strange. I can see the moon during the day. You know what I mean? And it's always been something that happened. It's not a strange phenomenon, but we're starting to wake up to it. Just like to go out and walk in the stream and see quartz. You know what I mean? Like, because at Brown Mountain, they go ahead, Baba Lester. Go ahead, please.
No, no, no. I was just agreeing with you.
It's Brown Mountain. They try to urge you to leave the rocks there. You know what I mean? Like, when I first started going, 6 years ago, they never said nothing. I picked up some quartz at the top of Brown Mountain. The dude was like, "There's more of that around than you can pick up," right? 6 years later, they want the people to leave the rocks there. You know what I mean? Because the people itself is working up. You know what I mean? And their
Mm-hmm.
energy is coming up. You see, and even though they're trying to keep it down, it's coming. It's starting to come up, and so you see these things, and it's the same as if your best friend buy a certain type of car, and then you start seeing that car everywhere. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's basically the same thing. You know, now that I see quartz, I see it when I go to a river, I can see it. And actually, I don't take that much no more. I got so much land around the house. But yeah, I can see it. I got a bunch of river quartz here in my house. Yeah. Because it's not always clear. And like you say, they're
Mm-hmm.
smoky. And, there's river quartz here that's a dark gray, right? But it's quartz. And then there's some that it can be a combination of clear and red dirt here. It look like hematite all over. You can just go ride your trail.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the point that Like our liberation, we can't see our liberation in the forest because of the trees, and as we notice what the trees are made of, we're becoming more liberated as a people. That's my prayer. You know. Anybody else? A comment?
The Philadelphia experiment and the Mandela effect, man. What airplanes falling? Okay, so since some people, you know how we've all been in this, but I'll speak for myself on this one. I've reached a certain point in knowledge. I'm like, oh man, I know so much, man. And then some little small event lets you know, man, you don't know shit. You don't know a damn thing. Sit down. I think that's what's going on now. Okay, if planets are always moving, wobbling, wiggling, you know what I'm saying? Like George Clinton said, wiggles, giggles, and squirm, right? And the things that you planned for years and have your highway in the sky going, maybe that's altered now. Maybe it's not on the same track that it was all those years ago. Maybe your air traffic control it doesn't work anymore because Mama said, "Hey, I'm gonna do feng shui in the air, and I'm gonna move things around in the air in the ages of the air. I'm gonna move things around." And so y'all figured it out. The trains fell off the track first. That was the first sign. Earth is always moving. I built a house from the ground up, and every now and then I have to adjust the doors and the windows because the way the Earth moves. So, oh man, it could have some effect to do with it. But since I watched a lot of movies based on the Philadelphia experiment, which one was called Videodrome with James Woods, which is a crazy movie. How it was based on metaverse goggles, I guess I can call them now. Back then, it wasn't called that. It had VHS tapes, but the VHS tape had an effect on the people that people wasn't realized. In other words, once you go into these worlds of these different movies and different technologies to show you movies, you can't come out. So they were showing you putting on those goggles and doing that technology that they have, what they call that. I forgot what they called it, but anyway, once you put the goggles on, you're in that reality now. Even if you take the goggles off, your cells, your whole body entered into that portal, and you're in there. You ain't coming out. And that's what the movie was showing. It's called Videodrome with James Woods, and it's in Philadelphia. Now y'all go check out. Yeah, and try to figure out what's going on there. It's so deep, man. I couldn't believe it. I said, "Wow, man!" And this stuff, man, boy, they be going really just like The Fly. When I watched The Fly, and then I seen the shape of the contraption that he got in, like the little pine cone, in there with The Fly. So that has a lot to do with how he became one with that being by being in that contraption with the shape. He got fertilized in there. So yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of interesting things going on. Bob, what you got on that? What you got to say about what's your response to that, Bob? I know you got something on that, man. That Philadelphia experiment, Mandela effect, all that time travel.
Okay, before we even get into all that, okay, I think you made the foundational statement when you were talking about the airplanes and the trains. Okay, these things travel through the air. Okay, and while people see that gentleman pouring the water out of the vessel, which represents Aquarius, the Aquarian is pouring the water through the air. And so for the next 2,100 years, everything's going to be about things traveling through the air. Okay? So the first thing that travels through the air is thought. As quiet as it's kept, thought is actually faster than the speed of light. So, and once again, the symbol is pouring the water through the air. Now, moving water generates negative ions. So you need negative ions in order to grow properly. in order to digest your food properly. So where things are off balance, that air will show us it's got to be corrected. It's got to be cleaned up. When we look at the aquarium pouring the water, it's just like Aquarius. It wants each water droplet to be purified so when it comes back together, it can contribute to the whole in the best way it can. So this is a very long purification system. And we see it with our president trying to get rid of some of these systems. Well, regardless of what he succeeds at or not, it is a time of going through our closet and, getting rid of the stuff we no longer use or finding somebody that can use it. Now, I think Mr. George Jetson is trying to tell us that airplane fuel is that time for that stuff is over. Now, aside from the cost of it, when we look at the dynamics of the earth and we talk about car pollution, for example, I'm always hearing these things. We build this giant windmill, it'll power, 200 homes or 1,000 homes, and we're trying to get rid of we're trying to, lower the amount of fumes that come out of the car. The whole point I'm making here is that airplane is 30,000 feet up. And therefore, the fumes that come out of that plane are able to go up into the atmosphere quicker than the pollution down here. So, like I said, George Jetson is telling us we need that Jetson mobile. Now Europe at least is trying to go halfway in the sense that they just opened up the fleet of airplanes that are made of solid hemp and they run on hemp oil. Now, let me go back for a second and talk about the technology of a bell. What is the function of a bell?
Sound vibration to a calling.
Okay.
I ring the bell and call the cows to come eat.
Okay. Well, you see, once again, before we get the calling, okay, or the message, metals, when we look at the periodic table, okay, on one side, on the left, we have the metals. And then in the middle, we have the semi-metals. And then on the right, we have the non-metals. Well, the basic difference between the metals and the non-metals, the non-metals operate with that image that we have, that traditional thing where we got the nucleus and the electrons travel around the nucleus. That's for non-metals. For metals, all the nuclei hang out together, and then the electrons swarm around them. So the ones that are closest to all those nuclei, they're bound there. They can't move. But the ones that are farthest away from the nuclei are free to roam. And as a matter of fact, the metal that has the greatest electron distance from the nucleus is copper. So what I'm saying to you is, before we even get the signal, the message, when we hit that bell, there's so many free electrons that they dart out in all directions, and they help to purify the negative thoughts and the chemicals in the air. Then we get the signal. So bells have always been used as a purification device. And, for thousands of years, people all over the world had lithophones. Okay, what's a lithophone? Well, the word itself tells us. Lith means stone, like monolith, okay? And phone means sound or distributing sound. So they had these stones that would stick out of the ground, but they were shaped and tuned. I'm so glad that somebody brought up Michael Tillinger, because a lot of his work has to do with this. And these people would shape and tune these various stones, and then when they would hit them, that would send that vibration through the ground and energize not only all the other plants and draw the microbiome, those tiny little beings, to the plant, but more importantly, it would activate all the quartz in the area. Now, when we look in our rock and mineral books, one of the first things they tell us, 93% of the Earth's surface is covered with quartz and calcite. So quartz is everywhere, and somewhere between in the beginning and Adam and Eve, there were specially designed beings that came and planted the first thought forms into our planet that generated the crystals, because the crystals were programmed for the duration of the planet, meaning our planet is scheduled to live for 9 billion years. We're halfway through. Okay, so if humankind blows itself up or starves itself or does whatever, we still got 4.5 billion years of work that the other beings who live here have to do. My final rant and rave, as far as how significant the quartz is, I go down south every summer. I see the chickens walking around in the yards, and every once in a while, like Sunday, they take the chicken, wring its neck, and pluck the feathers, and we have chicken dinner. It was so fresh. Anyway, one day I'm looking at these things, and I asked my auntie, I said, what are those chickens pecking at? And she said, well, they eating bugs, and sometimes they swallow a small rock. Okay. And I investigated and found out that there's this little thing in the chicken's throat called a gullet. And the gullet collects those rocks. So when it's eating the food, those rocks help to grind up the material that they're eating, and also help to purify, because what they're pecking on is quartz. And that's what the chickens that are living in these farms do not get. They do not have the quartz in them.
Oh boy, man. Which would make that how do I say, that capacitor called an egg with
that's right.
Capacitor is gonna give you a fucking bomb super chicken.
Not only that, bro, but you mentioned the egg. The egg is calcium carbonate. That's calcite.
Already. Wow. Oh man. Okay, yeah.
And that makes sense because they speak to eating eggs is a good thing to eat for your brain. So eating that egg with that calcium is nourishing, and wow, I don't even know how to say the words to that. That is deep.
Yeah, I know people throw eggshells in the compost and to enriching. I would love to. Go ahead, brother Eddie.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just agreeing with you. I apologize. I got a little Doc Less in me, just like when USIKU was talking and he was, giving him a yes indeed. That's all I was saying. Yeah, to re-enrich the soil. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So everything works in its own, vibratory, natural, everything agrees to work together. It's beautiful.
Hey, look. Okay. Have you people ever heard of the ancient Egyptian hatcheries? Okay,
no,
they had these specially designed the small buildings, and they would hatch 2,000 eggs at a time. And So they always had a bountiful supply of chickens. And, you know, if we go to the Wayback Machine, okay, we don't look at the building now. We go back and look at the Kentucky Fried buildings from the 60s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. On the top of every one of those buildings was a striped pyramid that had red and white. Anybody
Wow.
remember that? Okay.
I definitely remember the red and white, but I don't remember the pyramid.
Oh yeah. And what are the world colors of Upper and Lower Egypt? Red and white. They're telling you there's a long tradition of African people working with chickens.
Wow.
Very long.
Cocks, man. Hey, man, these chickens, man. I work with chickens, man. They had some intelligent. They very intelligent, man. Chickens ain't no joke, man. Hey, I don't know. We don't know what got in our chicken coop, either a raccoon or a cat. But the rooster, man, he fought. I mean, he didn't die. He was the only one living, but man, he was all messed up. I mean, man, whatever he was with, but man, he fought to keep his family safe. Man.
Yep.
He fought to the death, man. But whatever got a hold to him, man, it took him up. But man, he was still alive. I said, man, well, we had to give him props, man. You know, he he did the best he could to guard everybody. The last one standing,
Sure.
man. Yeah, man, they ain't not a joke. And I've seen a rooster fight off a hawk. A hawk landed on him, gonna get a baby, and that rooster jumped in front of that hawk. That hawk was dancing around, trying to figure out, man, how can I get this, man? This dude is tripping. So he just took off. He couldn't handle it, man. That rooster wasn't playing with him. Oh,
Papa
man,
don't
nature
take
is
no
something.
mess.
Yeah, man. Talk about it, man. It's deep, real deep. Yeah, and you know, it's a constant reminder. The children, man, that when you talk to the children about these things, man, they love it, man. Not only to see it in a book, but to go out in nature in the yard and show them things under leaves, take a bark off a tree and show them little bugs behind the bark, man. After that, you take them in the house and the next one they beat you up. Hey, can we go outside? We want to go outside. Go look up. Oh, we want to go peel that bark. So yeah, man, I'm reminded of that. Thank you, Baba. You know, sometimes I'm adulterated in my movements, and I just need to get back to the child state, deal with the children on a child's level, man, to bring me back down. You know. So yeah, thanks again. Yeah, man, it's always deep, man. Always the chicken. Ain't that a trip? I know, man. A lot of people make comments about chickens don't fly with eagles. Well, people can't eat eagles. Y'all go ahead and fly together. We're gonna be down here. You know, we're gonna do what we got to do. But I understand age, but like you said, we're in the age of Aquarius, and the eagle is on the move, Baba. That's a form of a transformation. That's Scorpio. Also, a snake is involved with the process too, right? The snake to the scorpion to the eagle. Yeah. Being the Chinese year of the snake, so it's in order.
Well, see, once again, you know, because we have so many signals that travel through the air, you know, like radio, okay, and they have an electronic component to them. So Aquarius also rules over, well, Uranus specifically, but Aquarius deals with all things electrical. Okay, now we know that. I mean, we're charging up everything in the world now, but on a more fundamental level, our snake buddies used to have external legs. And they were really teeny tiny, but they had legs. And therefore, after many, many moons, they just sucked those legs in. So now they're on the inside of their body. Okay. So how is it that they get to move? Ain't got no legs. Well, you know, when I was in school, they said, well, you know, they crawl along the ground. Then I talked to some Native Americans, And it became very evident that the snake, as it's traveling on the ground and in the trees, it's pulling in all those static electrons, which we call static electricity. And those electrons give it the power to move.
Mm.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Okay, now
You know,
before I forget, we've been talking about cats. Okay, and the design of the cat body, I'm still studying. I've been studying for years. One of my favorite little tidbits is the whiskers. You know, we've all seen the cat whiskers, and it's got those long ones that go all the way, on the outside, and then as you get closer to the nose, those whiskers get shorter. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
yes.
Yep.
Okay, so I've had cats before, and every once in a while, one of the whiskers will fall off. And I'm smoking my ganja, and I pick this whisker off the ground, and I say, this kind of looks like a fiber optic cable. Boom. The long whiskers pick up on red, the shortest ones pick up on purple, and the ones in between pick up on all the other colors. So they can sense color with their whiskers.
Come on, right?
Amazing.
Come on now.
Absolutely.
Wow, wow, wow. And Baba, does the whiskers also tell them the size of crack that they can fit through? Well, I've seen cats go through, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Those whiskers it'll be the width of their body. So if those whiskers, if the whiskers can't pass through, then it knows it can't fit through.
Man, oh man, oh man. I would love to hear from Sister Fatima, and I know that visit out there to Arkansas, which we had a couple of bills on the radio with the visitors that went with USIKU out there. I would love to get some feedback from that, man, because those seasons are coming back up, and I know people would love to know where some of these places are, visit some of these quartz crystal places, and get those healings. And so if Sister Fatima don't mind,
Yeah,
talking with this.
it was really fantastic. Um, I I received a lot of energy there. Um, the courts digging for it was absolutely fabulous. Um, I It was a trip that really touched me spiritually. Um, I had lost my husband, which was my buddy, and it gave me a lot of energy to deal with the loss of him. Yusufu, I call him uh, the Enlightened One. That's the name I gave him. Um, Made the trip really absolutely wonderful. We were able to go to the mounds, um, and we were able to uh, go into some of the hot springs. I mean, when you put your foot down in it, you can't. It was so hot you couldn't keep your foot in it. I enjoyed that. It was a very spiritual trip. Um, I I constantly remember it. Um, it allowed me to um, be free spiritually. Um, and I received a lot of about the portals that are being opened. Um, and I'll I'll share something in the sweat lodge. It came to me that there was portals that are being opened to assist um, the continent of Africa uh, to be able to uh, advance. And what it gave me is that through those portals uh, were kings and queens were coming through the youngsters, um, and that's what I got. And what was so dynamic, I was up on digging on the for the crystals, and a little girl, little black girl, little sister, came up and she says she tapped me and she says to me, I've been to Africa, and out of the blue, okay, and I'm going to be a queen. And she laid out everything she was going to do for on the continent of Africa. And that was what was so invigorating, and it helped verify what I received in the sweat lodge. Um, we have to understand that these portals that this is what I was given when I went there.
Don't
These
hold back, mama.
okay, these portals are opened uh, for the melanated, and they are opened on our continent that we are currently on. I'm in Jersey near the Pennsylvania stuff, but there are also portals that are being opened up in on the continent, uh, so that we will be able to advance on a spiritual level, and uh, these demons that have, I call them demons, have taken over and pulled the veil over all of the consciousness of the world are going to be um, are going to be removed. So I I am excited about what is happening to this earth now. Um, I've I've been watching the moon's uh, phases that have come through, and this is a time, the best time to be alive on in this dimension. Um, I I know that the metal melanated us people, you know, are going to be able to spiritually go to how can I say, we're going to be able to grow, to be able to walk through the other portals that are on the in the universe. And this portal here has to be cleansed, and all of the beings do come through here. But this, where we are, has to be purified, so that the universe can go on and expand as it currently is. I also, while I was there, with came to a reality of the energy of the earth and the quartz, and how it has effect on our mental capacity, and our spiritual capacity. That trip was absolutely wonderful. I'm dealing with it on a personal basis as if it was for me. That's being conceited, but it really expanded my knowledge and my spirit, and also it gave me the ability to be able to forgive humans that have hurt me in life, and move on. It was it touched me on all parts of my life, and I'm very grateful that the energy of the most high, or the creator, or all of that, made it available for me to be able to heal, to be able to receive insight on what is going to be happening on the earth. USIKU, I really thank you for that opportunity to have come to Hot Springs with you guys, and it was a happy moment. I was able to go back to even to childhood and play. I went Yasuku's nephew. We went out in the middle of the night, late at night, and we went to a Wawa and bought ice cream, a whole bunch of it, and we were riding around late at night eating ice cream. So it touched me on all kinds of levels, being able to go back into childhood. I'm 78 years old, and back then I was what, about 75, I guess. Yeah. And I had a ball. I really did, on a spiritual level and on a fun level. I yield the floor.
Wow, there's that child again. Thank Sister Fatima. You helped me in a lot of ways with that. What you just said. I won't go into it, but many things that you said helped me in the way you said it, with the love and appreciating the way you said it. But now I listen to how y'all went and got that ice cream, man. That's what I'm talking about. And 78, what's 78 on the periodic table, Baba Lester?
I don't know. What is it?
78 or 79 is gold. That's a PGM. Ain't that platinum?
Yes.
Palladium?
Yes.
80 is mercury.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
In May. Yeah.
In
Hey,
May. Look at
sis,
Wiki Emerald. Huh?
she forgot to tell y'all one thing that I think I heard through the grapevine. Hey, sis, did you ride that sky swing or whatever that thing
Oh
was?
yeah, the zip line. Oh, I did that 3 times. I had a ball.
Whoa!
More than 3 times. Matter of fact,
Talk
I
about
believe
young at heart. Talk about young at heart, sis. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was more than 3 times. Uh, Stormy, Yusuka's daughter, we went. Yeah, went maybe about 4 or 5 times. Yeah, I'm saying 3 times. I had a ball. Yeah, sure did. I enjoyed that. That was a highlight of it. Yes, that was the highlight of the trip.
Sounds like Aquarius to me. Going
Yeah,
through the air.
yeah.
Wow.
We'll have to do that trip again one day, Yusuka.
USIKU.
Yeah.
This is Sister Kafunya, and what just came to mind is there's a natural mystic flowing through the air. If you listen carefully, you shall hear. It might not be the first trumpet, but it won't be the last. That's what just came to my mind. And if you don't hear me anymore, I'm on my way out. I'm going to do my best to chime in when I reach Nicholas, Brooklyn. It's a beautiful program. I mean, I'm like, do I have to go now? Yes, I do. Okay, so if you don't hear me anymore, that means that I've gone through the air.
We
All
All
right.
appreciate
So
right.
you.
we're going to touch base.
And the 222 just came up, so that's a
Mm-hmm.
significant number as well. So give thanks, and don't forget to send me the recording because I want to listen to what I might have missed while I'm traveling for about 45 minutes to an hour. Okay?
All right.
Sure will.
And listener, don't forget to call me, okay?
Okay, I will.
And Ross E has my number just in case you didn't get a chance to, and one love to all the sisters in the building, the divine feminine, doing the work along with the brethren, because we are the sisters that bring life. And in order to nurture a being, whether you produced a child or not, you could be an auntie, you could be, you know, a good family member from the extended family to nourish the little ones as well as the big ones also. And on that note, I would say one love to everyone.
Islam.
One
What you think? A whole
Filipino.
Yes, I give thanks and praise always.
big up.
All right.
right. The
Ooh,
reason
wee.
the reason I said that she said a lot. Um, I have 3 brothers, and one brother is uh he's passed, and he's by another mother. Okay, and I went down to uh North Carolina during Thanksgiving, and uh give the backstory to it. My mother had in Jersey had invited my brother, and I had met my brother to our house. So years later, which was last year, um, I went to North Carolina to on my mother's side for Thanksgiving, and then I went to see my brother's side. Come to find out, when I walked in the door, there were over 50 people there, and it was the lineage of my brother, and I was the senior auntie of all of them. And when she said what she did, they it touched my heart because they snatched me in there and was really gave a lot of love, and uh, I was able to nurture, and uh, it's a part of the feminine part of uh, our being as a woman, to be able to nurture, um, and I was able to do that. Uh, I'm glad she really touched my heart, because that's what happened to me with with all that. And come to find out, there's 50 of them that are up here with me near New York, in New Jersey. So I have to get to see all of them. So it's about 100 of those relatives that came from that one brother.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, this is keep on building. This is
And
just, man.
I'm working on trying to develop a legacy for my family before I met them. So I'm saying, oh my goodness, boy, I really gotta work it out before I go, before I leave this dimension, to leave a legacy for that large of a family. Yeah, it's interesting. Life is interesting. Um, and, but anyway, thanks for inviting me, Yusuku, to this. I appreciate that. I learned a lot from you guys in reference to the quartz and the energy. And yes, my Eagles did it. They did it. Yes, they did it.
That's right.
We was out in the street boogalooing. That's the old time of dancing.
And
They
you
say
know, it was a
my
beautiful
Eagles,
party because
Eagles,
mm-mm.
Eagles, Eagles.
Wow.
You know, a
Yeah.
lot of people was boogalooing because of the
Uh,
fact that Frankie they were. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Baba.
no, no, go ahead. I just want to add two different topics, but go ahead.
Okay, you know, just real briefly. She said boogaloo, and don't forget. Ever since Frankie Beverly passed from Mays, New Orleans has been over there partying. They haven't stopped. That's over a lot. What 5, 6, 7 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they never stopped right up to the Super Bowl. They still celebrating that, brother. So we all celebrate. Kansas City is lit from however that city sees themselves over there, from being a champion in football. You know, politics changing, a lot of things being revealed. The old mounds that they discovered over there. You know, we know about Philly, and now New Orleans. So, like I say, man, it's beautiful. Nobody wins, nobody lose.
Mm-hmm.
It's a neutral mode, and you just pick out of it what you see and go with it. So, Sister Fatima, your energy and the way you explain what happened to you, man, it's electrifying. I live not too far from there. I told USIKU I'm gonna have to meet him over there when things line up. I will meet y'all over there. I'm not too far from there, so looking forward to meeting you one day in the flesh. Okay, Baba.
I just want, when we look at, consider portals, like Mama was talking about, um, the Missouri was a portal. That was a gateway.
Mm-hmm.
It was openly admitted. And then when you look at the Kansas side, they got Blue Mounds over there. They even got a city
Mm.
called Blue Mound, Kansas. You know what I mean? So it's just something to consider, that we knew our energy, even though up and down the Mississippi River, you know, it's, basically supposedly around St. Louis, they destroyed a lot of mounds. You know what I mean? It's like Egypt. You know what I mean? It's everybody. When you die, put a mound up, like that. And so it's very powerful. But we were speaking about energy. And since, I want to play this little clip because I want us to think about energy, but how they control and destroy the energy, you know what I mean, with by billions of people. So I'm just gonna play this little clip, and all right, and I'm gonna share my screen so I hope everybody can see it, if that's cool. Yes, I am. Mm-hmm. Nope, I don't have it up anymore. Hold on. Yeah. Wow, I lost it. Give me a minute, I lost it. It kept, I think it kept playing, unfortunately. But they were talking about, I've been But since I've been exposed, since I've been looking at the whole thing with the epigenetics and the role it play in our lives, right? And so even something where we look at TV and be like, wow, this is a great thing. Black folks got the Super Bowl, you know, and you got this guy that programmed all this stuff. When you look at it from the view of how it impacts our future, like it impacts like 3 generations ahead through epigenetics,
Mhm.
that that probably was one of the most negative Super Bowls we ever had. You follow what I mean? Because the epigenetics, I need to find it, but it's like a shield and a block before it alters your DNA. And it's like it has these trap doors, like one for good stuff, one for bad stuff, kind of like what they've been explaining it. And so once your mind picks up way more when you see this than your body does. And so once he hit on certain things that they put in the music to alter it, then that affects our future. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Like that. And so they go through this in an interview where this dude has this China dial and it's a little dial in front of a little dial in front of, you know what I mean, inside the dial. And it goes like 4 generations, that video that affected billions of people in a way that we didn't pick up that's negative. That's down in our genetics, down there. You see what I'm saying? And at some point, we say it's okay because it's simply because it's like, oh, blah blah blah, he expressing itself. But all expressions of art ain't necessarily good for us. That's all I'm saying. And so then when you look at them doing it, and then they're taking the indigenous chief and they got the eagle. Then they crashed the plane before they won. You know what I mean? So we got the fire and the pie. So it gets deep on like being careful about it. And this morning when I thought about it in terms of epigenetics. It's coming out of captivity or slavery, whichever one you believe. And then at some point, how we used to discipline our kids and how our parents used to discipline them and how our great parents used to discipline them. You see what I mean? And so it's the same as like that Super Bowl thing, that epigenetics. Like there's a lot of us been like, shit, my mama hit me with this. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because that was built into the epigenetic that was passed on from the generations of slavery. Right, and I'm not blaming everything on slavery. You see what I mean? Because that it happens with other races. But I'm just saying there's a precaution that and as each generation, maybe how we punished each other have been different to a point now where we don't touch our kids, right? And some of us, we don't whoop our kids. They say whatever they want, blah, 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 blah. But it used to be a time, I've talked to brothers like, what, extension cord, my mother tapped me up with an iron. You see what I mean? And that's all built into the subconsciousness of epigenetics that was happening when they whooped the slave. And they knew it's like, well, you for the next 4 generations, USIKU's mama gonna task us up and think it's cool. You see what I mean? And I'm not saying it's bad or good. I don't, I don't, there's abuse. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there's subtle things about it to where when we look at a guy on stage, that for him to be on that stage, he got to be doing the same shit that the guy he talking about do. You see what I mean? What you up there talking about, perversion and pedophile, right? And we're like, oh, it's a good thing. No, this dude talking about perversion, and he's putting that into a layer above our DNA. That's what I want to say about it.
Mm, yeah. That was deep. But
Mhm.
I can speak for myself on that. I've been through some of that, and you're right. There's a lot of, and that's why I label this quantum entanglement, because you can get entangled in a lot of things depending on where your mind is traveling. And that there's some truth to that, Baba. But listen to this. Sometimes a wide receiver, you could throw him a pass and he'll drop it. He don't want it. He might see a safety coming across the field. I ain't having none of this. I'm not catching that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like every generation has somebody come through to break all that, man. Like I'm not receiving none of that. I ain't listening. So what? You used to walk to school 30 miles. I'm catching Uber. You know, you know what I mean? It's like man, I would say we all each have an opportunity to choose those paths. It's not automatically in there. Even quartz, you know, you could clean quartz. You know, you can clean up quartz and erase the memory and start over. You know, there's these possibilities that we have, all these different options. I call them options. And I get what you're saying. That's why you never heard me bring up the halftime show. I just put it in there as the hypnosis. It is the hypnosis. You're right. But the hip represents Sagittarius. That's the body part of Sagittarius, the horse. So we got horsepower, man, to run past a lot of stuff, you know. That's how I see that, man. There's nothing fixed here. Yeah, it's optimal, man. It's optional is what I'm trying to say. I think it's a lot of options that we have. We could choose these paths, you know. We can go down that path if we want. And yeah, and they showed us this, and hey, I know the perfect movie to bring up what they showed, exactly what you're talking about. It's called They Clone Tyrone. There it is, right there. They showed you right there. That stuff runs deep. It's in the chicken. It's in the sun-kissed drinks, right? It's in the beer, the spirits that they was giving Frog. You know, yeah, man, absolutely. It does run deep, man. You're right. It's right there. They showed us in that movie, They Clone Tyrone. So yeah, it is something to think about and deal with. On each person's level. But as a group, yeah, it becomes powerful when a group take on to something. And man, he's like the only one out. It's like there's no other hip hop artist. He's the only man. I've never seen nothing like this before. You bring up a good point, Baba, because Kendrick Lamar, man, there's no other hip hop artist. He's the only one on people's lips. Ain't nobody talking about nobody else. Everybody else dying. You know, you know, I don't see it as a beef. I don't even think this beef is even real. I don't even think it's real, man. You know, we've seen hip hop beats before, real ones. And I don't, you know, we know the music industry has been tore up ever since they took the group. You know, the dawning of the age of Aquarius with the groups, all the groups, man, the Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, and the Dells, and the Impressions. We don't have that anymore. These are individuals. So yeah, there's a big difference, you know, a big difference. But eventually Aquarius is going to come to exactly what it is, a group age. It is a group age. You know, it's a group age. And so, yeah, we'll get ourselves together. We'll polish up our act. No doubt about it. We will polish up our act. I'll polish up my act. I'll start with me first. Because I'm in some of these things that you brought up. You know, I'm in it. And I'm so glad that Fatima brought up that child energy, because that's where I am. You know, I have to remember that, man. The children, they can bring you to a ecstasy that, man, no other can. You know, it's like, man, just being around them, that energy. Hey, man, it's 10 o'clock at night. Everybody sleep. Let's go get some ice cream. Come on, let's go. Let's go for it. Everybody else sleep. Let's do it. You know, just eat ice cream till you get sick. So, yeah, that kind of thing right there. And earlier, Baba was talking about the bell. When you spell bell, the word spelling is deep, because we're talking about Emerald City, and BE is beryllium. And so, yeah, the bell is a very, very powerful tool. I know sometimes we forget, but, man, yeah, that cowbell. You ring that cowbell, them cows, they know it's not for nothing. They come in, and they have some potent personalities, cows, man. They get jealous over the bull, man. You'll see them headbutting each other. If the bull's showing one female more attention than the other one, man, they get jealous, man. I'm like, wow, are you serious? And then they get in a circle, and they all face each other. They all, and they not saying enough. They just standing there for hours in a circle, just kind of like telepathy, you know, just right there, just all in that circle. Man, they not eating grass. They just looking at each other. I'm like, wow, look at this. For a couple of hours, they'd be like that. So yeah, man, we live in an
That's
amazing.
that's that conversation. It ain't conversation. It's conversation.
Yeah, that was a good one, Eddie. Yeah, conversation. That's a T-shirt, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one, man. But that's why we had these calls, man. It's mind stimulating, you know. I knew it when I seen the title. I said, man, come on, man. And back to your signature. This goes back to the signature, y'all. The SI is court in signature. The G is for whatever you want. Geometry, Gnosis, G stands for a lot of things, but I say geometry because it's your signature is a specific shape and form, right? And then the next word is nature. So our signature, we can sign your signature in many different ways. You can sign as a debtor. You can sign as a beneficiary. You can sign as a dead person. You can sign as a living person. So this is a signature time right now. It really is. And like I said, it's not so much the football game as a big event, but it's how nature is showing us about tools that we have to use. Just follow nature. Who can go wrong following nature? The eagle is in flight. Planes are falling and nature is flying. Right? Man, things have to be readjusted, and what they call it, what they call this time, a new shift or whatever, a reset. Reset is trees scramble, right? Reset trees. That's the word, trees scramble. So all about nature, man. You ain't with nature, and ain't they warning people that's not what they call like your nationality? You have to be a natural person to move forward. And that time is right now. It's serious too, man. You can't be a slave. They got something for the slaves. They can't mess with a natural person.
Conversation. You heard?
Everybody talking and don't know how. Should have seen the bull hump the cow.
That's right.
Hump the horn and saw some smoke. Let's get in the bed.
Let's get in bed and funk like folks. Laughing at you.
Yeah, laughing at you. Speaking of New Jersey, you definitely, man. We know about portals there. There's definitely portals. And, Bobby, you always speak about the island of New Jersey, New York, being an island, and being, of course, the Crystal Island. Montauk Point, Long Island, very, very potent, time travel. That's what I'm saying, that Philadelphia is connected in so many ways. So many ways, those quartz veins that allow you to do a lot of things. Even break programs, and that's what I feel. I feel just like Sister Fatima said about what she's seen, what the sweat lodge showed her, is that these young kings being born. They not programmed, man. They not. There's no strings attached. They not under string theory. You know what I mean? They out here loose, man. What the brothers say? We outside. Turn the TV off. We outside. So there is a message. There is some messages, but you have to pick the message according to your frequency. The people that's out there sagging their pants and still in the gangster thug venue, well, their courts is gonna be turned up to where they can't, even if they're gonna keep rolling in that. I was in that, man. As a youngster, I was turned all the way up, but I would slow down like O.J. Simpson would slow down. He used to run for Hertz Airport and jump over couches until they slowed his Bronco down. They slowed his horsepower down. See what I'm saying? So there's that hip hop again. That's the hippocampus. It represents the horse. It represents the hippopotamus, a very powerful creature that comes out of the water onto land, and nobody dare mess with him. Even lions don't want to mess with a hippopotamus. Man, they not to be played with. So
3,500 people a year.
35. Look at that. 35.
No, 3,500 people get killed by hippos. And by the way, the word hippopotamus means river horse.
There you go.
There you go.
Back to the river. Yeah.
Oh, I just want to say something about the $6 billion man. Okay, we are the $6 billion man and women. Okay? What do I mean? Well, when we look at the studies that IBM did back in the 50s and early 60s, specifically about uh, crystals, but focusing on quartz, their study showed that of all the materials on this planet, the quartz crystal is able to reproduce every frequency that exists. So, like they said, we can rebuild him stronger, faster, and I will add smarter. We take the quartz crystal, and we know that within each one of our organs, we have these things called stem cells. Unlike what I learned in school, where they told us, all the cells in our body replaced after 7 years, those stem cells have been with us since that organ formed. And thus, we can program that crystal to help us become aware of what our original intentions are and to remove all those that have been supplanted or implanted into us.
Wow.
Okay, okay. I do not like to tell anecdotal stories, but in this case I will tell one. This gentleman came to me, and he had a back pain. I mean, a piercing back pain. He couldn't really function, and he'd been to every modality there was. He went to the regular doctors. He went to the voodoo man. He went to everybody. And I said, okay, well, I'm just going to put the crystals on you like I do everybody else, and we'll just see what happens. And I put the crystals, and I should add, this man was a very, very spiritual Christian. He wasn't just a namesayer. He lived it. Okay? So I put the crystals on him, and he's laying there, and out of my mouth, I look at the patterns, right? I look at the patterns of the crystals. And somehow my brain translated that, and out of my mouth I said, first century Christian. And that man involuntarily reached up with his arm and pulled out a psychic spear that he had gotten in the first century. And he got off of my bed, and he was fine. We carry these things over many lifetimes in some cases.
Wow.
Doc, you need to stop being so nosy, man. My back is bothering me. It's been beating me up all day. Oh.
Well, okay, okay. Any quartz crystal. And in this regard, I'm going to recommend black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is in the quartz family. It has a bunch of other minerals in it, but it's in the quartz family. And what makes black tourmaline unique among the quartz is that even though you've got one piece of it, if you look at it, you'll see all these little strands. Each one of those strands is an individual crystal. And therefore, it will bounce back any negativity that's sent to us. And it just doesn't send it back as negativity. It speeds it up so that it will actually dissolve that negative intention. And at the same time, the reason I'm recommending it is because it blocks us from doing self-harm. Like the brother said, we face all these things all the time. We turn on the TV to get poisoned, right? But the black tourmaline will say, no, this is not for you. Turn on that documentary, go outside, look at a bird, dig up a rock, So just work with the quartz crystal, program it for your true, in New Age we call it highest self, but just say, anything that's not from my original being is got to go.
Thank you.
Yes,
and that black tourmaline
Thank
is
you.
S. And that black tourmaline is SCHORL, Shoral. SCHORL. And the most potent type is the calcite tourmaline inclusion. That's real powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, that goes back to our ancient language again. Sure, it sure will do it.
Yeah, all things connected, man. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, beryllium. I'm really into beryllium, which a bunch of beautiful gemstones come out of beryllium, not just emerald.
Mm-hmm.
Spodomine and morganite. You know, yeah. There's a lot of beautiful stones out. And not only that, you're talking lithium. So lithium and beryllium is right next door to each other. You know that lithium. So Baba, look at who planned this language, man. Look at you got the Lion of Judah, you got Aquarius, the lion on the other side. The lion has lithium and it has the ion right there. You know, so I mean, the zodiac wheel is full
Oh yeah.
of computer knowledge.
Oh yeah.
It's literally a spider web. It's just as potent as a spider. That's exactly what it is, because there's the web on the dollar bill. That's the zodiac on the dollar bill with the Scorpio on the Taurus. Taurus rules the money, right? Scorpio rules the private side of the deal. The private, right? Yeah. So it's right there, perfect science, right in our face. Yeah. So yeah, there's your master air traffic controller, the spider.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. If there's nothing flying in that path, that web ain't gonna stay there long. It's gonna move somewhere else. Exactly right. So yeah. And we know that these people do not follow nature. They are against nature. And nature is going to slap you. Nature is going to slap you, fellas. If y'all don't know it by now, y'all haven't tasted it yet, get ready. Pucker up, because you're about to get slapped. Nature is going to slap a big slap.
And what is that spider web made of?
Quartz.
Quartz.
6-strand quartz. I was still trying to figure that one out, but 6-strand. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Liquid quartz. Wow.
I got a meditation table, and I've been taking spider web and putting them across a couple of my obelisks, like that. So I can, at some point, I'm gonna get 6. But when you taught me that, the spiders around here was going in. So I got to get 2 more strands. So then when I start blowing my ritual on my table, I'll be blowing it through the 6-strand quartz. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna have six strands that you blow through like that. And you blow into it. Encircle obelisk and in the middle is water, quartz crystal, and obsidian for that moon candle. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. And so when
in geometry, in geometry, okay, when we look at shape, any shape, I mean, I've worn out several copies of my rock and mineral guide because I look at the atomic shape of them. Well, one of the things that blew my mind is that if I take the shape, so in the case of silver and gold, the atomic shape of silver and gold is a cube. And therefore we know that a cube is made up of 6 squares. Okay, a cube is, that is a square. If we measure the angles of a square, we get 360. And since we have 6 squares, we multiply 360 times 6, and that gives us 2160. That just happens to be the frequency of that gemstone. 2160 hertz. I'm only saying that because, obviously anything that vibrates at 2160 will automatically resonate with that gemstone. When I look at the spider web, I see hundreds of rectangles. And therefore, that would be 360 times whatever those amount is. That's the frequency that spider web can take in.
And I'd like to add my little tidbit to it. If you add them numbers up, you got 369.
Oh man. Wow. Well, spider the word spider has pi in it.
Also, the moon is 2160.
Wow.
And the capstone. Yeah, and the capstone of the pyramid.
Ain't that a number of an age too, Baba?
Of what?
A number of an age.
Yeah, yes, that's right. That's right.
Wow, man, look at that. Man, what? Man.
It's all right in front of us. We open our eyes to see, okay?
I say, and the shedding of the snake. What about the snake, y'all? That we in the year of the snake, the shedding of the skin of the snake.
That's right.
Shedding skin. That's what it feels like already, right at the doorstep. Shedding skin.
And guess what? Since you brought that up, that snake puts his tongue out, right? The forked tongue.
That's their signature. Yeah.
Okay. Well, they use their tongue for smelling.
Come on, man. That's what that is?
That's what that is.
Wow, dang.
And it's picking up on the frequency.
Wow, man. That's amazing. Oh man. Back when they was expecting the cicadas to come out and they never did.
Right.
They never did because the frequencies wasn't right. The birds were singing all through the night, all through the day.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of chatter. Go ahead, Baba.
Well, see, once again, in the news now, it's the big thing because we're having the sunspots and we got all these aurora borealis. They're wonderful pictures, but we're at the peak of the sunspot. We just began the peak of the sunspot cycle. Okay. And what that translates into in everyday language is the cosmic rays that normally get blocked out by our atmosphere. Our atmosphere is so bombarded that it shrinks every time one of these sunspots hits us. And it remains shrunken for several hours until it goes back to its normal position. So the net result is that more of these cosmic rays have not just got to the atmosphere because they like to reside up where the airplanes are. And, anybody in the airplane industry will tell you flying on a plane more than 2 hours is the equivalent of getting an X-ray. That's how many cosmic rays are up there. But during this time period, last summer, the reason why the cicadas didn't come out is because the cosmic rays were on the ground. And I say this as a farmer, that our cucumbers all mutated. And that's how we know the cosmic rays are near the ground. That's why the birds were singing at night. Okay. I got buds on my tree in front of the house here, that started in January. And they froze over. Now the new buds are coming out. This is way earlier than normal. So and I just want to say, this is an excellent time to do gardening because we will have mutations. Now, mutation, we think of something negative, but we got the X-Men, they're mutating, right? So we have the opportunity for all new species and new things to come up at this time period. And remember, the sunspot cycle is 11 years. So we can, like if I get some cucumbers that grow extra big or grow extra fast, I'm going to keep those seeds because that vibration will stay for the next 11 years. That's sort of gardening epigenetics.
Gardening epigenetics.
I
Look at
love
that.
this
Wow.
word.
Bobby, you started the show with the clip with the epigenetics clip. It had started, but then it stopped.
Yeah, yeah, and I was trying to just get it cued, so because I mean, the sister is she tight though, y'all. I'm gonna send y'all the link. Y'all can look at it at a separate time. But yeah, it's a sister that, and she's so down to earth, and she's tight. She's on there with Niles deGrasse. You know how they kick it on his show. They're laughing and joking. But she explains it very, very, I mean, the sister's super heavy, but she explains it on my level. So I could really
Wow.
understand it. And I'm like, are you for real? We talking about getting rid of racism. You know what I mean? But within we have to look at controlling what's put into our kids because we're dealing, what goes in us goes ahead of us 4 years in the
That's
future.
right.
You see what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So it's very deep, but and that was like last year's Super Bowl, they had the Flower of Life and they had Mandela's and blah blah. You see what I mean? And it was Usher. It was about love. You see that sort of thing. And that resonates a different song to you than death and
Mm-hmm.
violence
Mm-hmm.
and pedophile. You see what I'm saying?
Uh, good
And
point.
that's
Good
all I'm
point.
saying. I'm not knocking them. I'm not attacking the Super Bowl thing. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I have messed up that line so many. They not like us. You know what I mean? It's something that's stuck. Who don't say it sometimes? You run across something that's stupid. You be like, well, they not like us. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's that's stupid what you're doing. But it's just that's how sensitive it is. But y'all just prove why it's so important. You gave 2160, and then you found out where that number is and everything in the culture of the universe. So it shows you how
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
so much stuff is connected. Well, you know what I mean? Like that
Yep. Yep.
it's
Number
all
9.
so built in,
It
right?
comes back to the number 9, man. It's in the title of the
Yes.
show, the number 9. There it is. That's how it culminated. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, there it is, man. It culminates in the 9. So the 9 lives of the cat, anything associated with 9, man, it's gonna be honest, man, and it's real. It's about as real as it gets. The culmination of things. So the 6 is like a zygote, the seed, the stem sprouting out of the seed, and then the 9
Mm-hmm.
is the fruit. That it shows you the fruit. The stem and the fruit. And so, yeah, man, very, very. I'm glad you brought that up, Bobby. All things necessary, man. That's why the call was so necessary on the day that we having it. It's a pi ratio. It's golden. It's a golden mean. And also, Baba, Aquarius also has Saturn. Talking about ring and stones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Saturn is in Capricorn and Aquarius, along with Uranus or Uranus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like Frankie Beverly would say, it is a golden time of day.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I had to get me a Southern girl. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. I so appreciate y'all so much. Love y'all so much. Uh, you know, it's just, man, I'm growing, man. I have a lot of uh shining gemstones, man, to shine with. And so I'm thankful to be one of the crystals, man. I can be in the mix. I'm so thankful, man. I'm over here, got my granite. I'm looking at my granite over here. My mouth just love mica. Every time I start
Mm-hmm.
looking unfold and study mica, the black mica, biotite, hornblende. It's just amazing, man. It's like, man, oh man, it's so amazing. It's an insulator. It keeps heat
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
keeps things out, keeps things in. It's like, wow, man, so fascinating. And then whenever you see mica on a rock, that's the shiny crystal that you see. You know, just the mica. It's just its face. You know, its face is shiny. You know. Especially the limestone. I love limestone because you know he had the mica's going crazy in the limestone. It's just something else, man. Imagine a dodecahedron with mica faces.
Well,
Man.
okay. Let me tell you another thing that's in that rock and mineral book. The thinner the crystal, the higher the frequency.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, because mica's like little like flake layers. You know,
Right.
like little
The
flakes.
sheets, little sheets. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can
Little
I share a
thin
story
sheets.
with y'all? I'm gonna
Sure.
sound
Please.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be embarrassed, but I got an old Beamer, so there's certain days I have to do restoration to it. So it's this one part that went out, and it's too cold to go out there in the junkyard to get it. So I was like, I got to plug this hole up, and it's on the exhaust intake. Do you know what I went to get to plug it up? I went into my rock connections, found me the original mirror, which is mica, right? That can take heat.
Uh-huh. Right.
Plug that hole up. I just went out, I shaped it with a razor, like I was making me a gasket. And plugged
Uh-huh.
that hole up and screwed that screw down. It don't leak. That
That was
gemstone
brilliant.
take the heat of that exhaust manifold, right?
Absolutely. I got that
So
more science.
I was like,
Put that
what?
more science in
This
there.
for real? Because I was like, what am I doing? And I got some because we went to this mine. So I have some that when you could just splits off. You know what I mean? Like some of it is just split off, right?
Yeah.
Just split off a couple sheets of it, trim that stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
Away I
I
went.
see.
Yeah, yeah. It take
Yeah. Oh, you got
it's
a
and
BMW?
yeah, yeah, because it just but yeah, so there's so many uses for stuff that's around us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just knowing. Like when my daughter and my cousin came to visit me, they noticed, that I got quartz in every corner. We was moving so fast I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't
That's right.
explain it to them. You know what I mean? But
Uh-huh.
they're like, "Damn, you got quartz in every corner." I'm like, whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
can't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I do. I just do. You know what I mean? Only really, yeah. And it has an impact because if I stack it on my cable box, then it goes out. So it definitely has an impact. But, Bob, like over the years, as you look now, do you see your footprint in us?
Yes.
Good. I want to know that.
Well, go to a museum that has old appliances and take a look at the original stoves, the original ovens. Okay, because you know you used to have a door that you had to open, but you know opening the door many times to check on the food was letting some of the heat out. So they came up with the idea of putting in a little window. And all of those original ovens have mica as the window.
That's right.
Not only was it keeping the heat from escaping, it was actually cooking the food more effectively.
It's deep, man. Yeah.
Our fingernails are calcite, man.
Of
Calcite.
course.
Fingernails.
Of course.
Fingernails do a lot of work. Yeah.
Back in the day, you know, you go to people's houses and they had those glass doorknobs. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Okay. Well, now we have brass doorknobs. But inside people's houses, yeah. Yeah, they see we got glass now, but they used to be quartz. So when somebody came to your house, Your outside doorknob was copper because that helps with breaking up viruses. And then every time you open that door, you're getting energy from the quartz.
That's right. Oh yes, it was a clear door. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right. I
we
have.
have come to reclaim the pyramid. Partying on the
It's
bullshit.
serious. I mean, my girl from Baltimore called me when I got back this trip last year, and she was like, "I want some quartz. I'm gonna put it in my garden." And she was growing her
Mm-hmm.
garden in the file drawer, y'all. You know what I mean?
Wow.
She's like, "Well, see, I just
Yes.
got some file drawers. I'm just gonna grow." Yes. And she sent me a picture of a very beautiful garden because she threw that quartz all in. She's like, "Well, see, I just threw it all in the soil." Because I sent her the tailings, because I brought the tailings, some tailings home with me too. They call it tailing, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like that. She threw, shoot, it's amazing.
And what's the effect of putting quartz in the garden?
It helped her to grow her plants.
Yeah, but how?
I yield.
Okay. Well, okay. Even though the quartz crystals look solid to us, they have these things on the surface called ion channels. And basically, it's like a little tube with like a straw that goes into the quartz. I know this because I wrap my quartz crystals with, well, I used to wrap them with bare copper wire. And after using them for purifying my water, every once in a while, I'd look into the crystal and there'd be green copper in the crystal. And I'm like, how did it get into the crystal? And then I found out about these ion channels. And one of the effects of the ion channels is that any water that the quartz gets in contact with, it'll take in 10% of that water and hold on to it until the water evaporates. So it releases the water back into the soil so that the plants have water.
Wow.
Nature's
Oh,
watering
okay.
system. And it does other things too, but I found that to be fascinating that it takes in water but then lets it off.
Wow. Okay. So I know I gotta go. Well, I don't even know if I'm gonna do a garden this year. Need to.
Oh yeah, I'm on. I got my mulch pile already, man. I'm ready, man. And the same thing
Mm-hmm.
over here in Texas. We had things blooming in January. We had our peaches was blooming.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so many things was blooming in January. Then of course it died back because we had 11 degrees over here, and
Yeah.
so everything back. But I'm looking forward to everything. I know the blackberries gonna be going berserk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll never buy
Strange.
blackberries because we get them free, man. We get so many blackberries, it's ridiculous, man. I mean, thick, so thick you can't even walk. The thorns are so vicious, man. It's like a
Yes.
surgery you can get. Yeah.
Wow. Yep. Yep.
Well, let's see, 10 or 11 years ago, I met brother Eddie from Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
and USIKU. Both of them got to experience. I was out in my mom has a mentor. So she passed away, but she used to allow us to come out on her 100 acres and pick berries. And one time I was
Oh.
talking to USIKU and brother Eddie out there while I was picking berries, man. I told him I asked the berries to please allow me to pick without getting stuck. The next year I came back, the thorns were down beneath. They wasn't at the top.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I did some research on the brother, the peanut farmer, and how he
Yeah.
communicated with. I
That's
said,
right.
man,
That's right.
hold up, I'm gonna put this to the test, and man, it works, my brother. It works, man. It works. They agreed, man. They agreed with me. I told them, man, I have many people to feed y'all juice to,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I was sincere about that. I said, man, please, man, a lot of people want y'all, y'all goodness, and so, man, I came out there next year. But I mean, I was picking berries for hours, never got stuck by one thorn because they was down below. So, yeah,
Okay,
man.
my rock hounds. Hurricane Helene gave us a little hint, okay, because she went all up and flooded all those areas. But the net result of that was we found out that in Spruce Pine, North Carolina, is the purest quartz in the country, actually the world. So if in your travels, and of course, computer people scooped up most of the mines, but I'm sure this quartz just, on the ground or around. And you're talking about crystals on the ground. Well, in Brazil, they pick up and throw the alexandrites over their shoulders to get to the gold. So this alexandrite laying on the ground. What? Bro, I could literally get on a plane and go down there and purchase them and come back, and it would be cheaper than if I bought a crystal of alexandrite up here.
Oh, yeah, man.
I mean, the stuff goes for $900 a carat. Okay, but it's on the ground.
Man.
Because when you look at that means that quartz probably, that spruce pine grow up in the center of that mountain all the way up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the highest point. That's one of the highest points in North Carolina. Yeah. I've been to spruce pine. So, it was like they were saying when I went and did mine last year, that, and it was only 900 feet. That mountain was 900 feet, but it grew from however deep in the earth up the middle of that mountain, 900 feet.
Yep.
Yeah, so Spruce Pine, they always pulling gravel and stuff out of that junk. They got snow white gravel with mica in it. They got sometimes them trucks. They pull a lot of, stuff out of those mountains, like you say. They're ancient, but they pull a lot out. So I could see, that type of quartz being up there, because there's places you can go in North Carolina, they don't want you mining at all. You have to sneak in there. Like some of them ruby mines, you got to sneak up the river and wade up the river a mile. I hope you don't get caught. And my dudes was telling me, So it's they. Sometimes they keep you focused on Africa, and then we got all this shit right here. You see what I mean?
Right.
They just got you focused on Africa. Africa got the gold, and they got gold mines. Like if when I go to Brown Mountain, I pass a couple gold mines.
Bro, so many people talk about Pangea, and if all these land masses was one, let alone the Americas rose before Africa did, pressure caused the rising of the land masses. So why wouldn't we have just as many or more, of those, wonderful things here? Again, I think they say there's only three gold mines that was found or created by the Pigfoot. All the rest of them, they're still looking for El Dorado. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. That's right. Oh man.
That's Omaha, Nebraska, El Dorado. That's what's that movie they came out with? Was that Wakanda? Wakanda. That's Omaha, Nebraska. That's where the ancient healing springs. People used to come from all over the world to come to Nebraska to get in them healing springs. Matter of fact, it was a mental hospital. It was and they took the mental patients out in that spring, and then man, they didn't have mental issues no more. Right there in Omaha, Nebraska.
Sound like an exorcism to me.
Yeah,
well,
man, that's right. Man.
Earlier, the brother was talking about the mounds in St. Louis. Okay, that's my stomping ground. Okay, between St. Louis and Kansas. Then how many mounds did they tear down in St. Louis?
300.
5,000.
What?
5,000, and they go. That's just on the Missouri side of St. Louis. Okay, and the archway, the arches, right? That was a portal, and so they replaced their artificial, their arches. That's also where they sold the slaves. They brought them up to Mississippi and sold them. Anyway, if you go across the bridge from Missouri, from Illinois into Missouri. From Yeah, from Illinois into Missouri. Um, you got mounds that go from St. Louis all the way to Columbia, Missouri, which is like 120 miles in. So I mean, the 5,000 that they destroyed in St. Louis alone is nothing. And then also you can find pictures of pyramids that were along the Mississippi River. But when they got there, pyramids. Okay, and it's always been. I hitchhiked a lot, and so it was always curious to me that the Mississippi starts up at Cairo, Illinois, and goes all the way down to Memphis. I was like, what?
Nile Valley. That's the Nile Valley right there. Dog.
That's right. That's right.
Wow, man.
Just consider that. I forgot what city or state it's in. A state it is in, but one of the main prison camps here, they call it Angola.
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie Murphy did that movie, him and Martin Lawrence, Life.
Right.
Once you go to that jail right there, ain't no getting out.
That's right.
That's
right.
It's a lot.
That's in Louisiana.
Oh, it's in Louisiana?
I think so.
The Notches Trace. There were mounds from coming through Natchez, Mississippi, all the way up to Asheville. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is.
Wow.
Yeah. And they treat that
Wow.
joint like the Blue Ridge Parkway. You get on the Natchez Trace, you better not pick a flower. You're just supposed to ride and do scenic overlooks in that joint. Yeah, they preserved it. Those are the,
Well, I see this whole culmination of this game was a salute to us, man. It's all about us. I mean, you look what y'all bringing in. Y'all bringing all the mounds of Missouri. You got New Orleans, which that's the point. That's Moundville right there, Louisiana, and then Philadelphia, where they actually tricked all of us and took our status, and Philly. So it's time for the rise up and fly, man, like an eagle. Transform from a Scorpio to an eagle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Take it as you will, but it's a golden time. It's an emerald time, Emerald City. Hey, now, real quick, I want to give a big up to all the green stones representing the heart chakra. I want to thank Sister Fatima for her beautiful and calm and cool explanation of all her experience up there in Arkansas. I want to give up a quick big up to the green stones. I'm gonna name a couple of them, y'all. I'm gonna start with olivine, which comes from outer space, carrying RNA and DNA with it, and meteorites from pallasites. Y'all check that out. Green stones coming from outer space. Then that's the pyroxene, which is a family of the olivine, pyroxene. Malachite, which is a copper stone out of Arizona, New Mexico. Malachite, powerful stone. You got jade, one of the highly sought after minerals, which is a pyroxene. Jade, it doesn't come from China. The most jade is found in South America and Costa Rica, right here in the Americas. Jade, diopside, which is chrome dioxide, is a really high mineral. Green diopside marble, which is found with diamonds. That's how they find diamonds. They look for kimberlite, then they find the diopside that goes with the kimberlite, then they know they're near diamonds. Diopside, serpentine, emerald, aberturine, savarite, which is a garnet, green sapphire, turquoise, chrysocolla, bloodstone, green diamonds. Listen to this one, y'all. Mawsitsit is spelled M-A-W. Sit, S-I-T. Mawsitsit. It's a chrome jade. Mawsitsit. Chrysoberyl, alexandrite.
Yep. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sunstone, Oregon stone, which is a feldspar, green feldspar. Zoisite, which is a green tanzanite. Black hornblende, which is so is so green it looks black, just like the sun. The sun is so green it looks black. Green zirconia, prehnite, apatite, variscite, cornerupina. Cornerupina spelled Kornerupine. Kronstein, which is a beryl. Econite, Ekanite, econite, which is radioactive and very toxic. Hiddenite, which is spotamine. Kunzite, which is also beryl. Gaspite, which is nickel and very dangerous. It's spelled Gaspeite. I guess I'm spelling that right. Gaspiite. Yeah, gaspiite. It's a nickel. It's very dangerous. You have let's see, fluorite, green fluorite was one of my favorites.
I
Green
love
fluorite.
fluoride.
Fluorite, yeah, I love fluorite. It comes in all different colors. And
Yes, it does.
labradorite.
Lab do got some
Labradorite.
of that too. Yes, sir.
Yeah, bruh. Cryophase.
Mm-hmm.
Moldavite coming from outer space. Moldavite, which is glass, green glass. And Vesuvinite. Very intense. Vesuvinite. Peridot. And peridot, yeah, the green peridot. That's just a few, y'all. Just a few. Big up to the green stones and the heart chakra of Leo, the lion
Question
of
for
Judah.
both of y'all. I have a question before we go for both of y'all. What's the relationship to gypsum and selenite? Or is there a relationship?
I believe gypsum is a form of selenite.
Okay.
Yes, it's a form of selenite.
Okay.
Because you've seen those gypsum, those desert rose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's selenite.
I was wondering. I thought so, but I didn't know for sure. I thought it was one time I was trying one of my weird projects, and I'm like, damn, I need some selenite. And I just got some. I don't know if it ever worked, but mm.
Oh yeah, that's moon energy, selenite.
Okay. Yeah, I know selenite is. I found it to be a great conductor, man. That could be blocks, and I can put selenite on. Even if I'm working with a person and put selenite in my hand, it just
Mm-hmm.
opens it up. I don't know. It just
Yes,
opens the block
yeah.
away. You know,
Yeah, they
like
use
to have
selenite to clean quartz.
to do what?
Uh-huh. Yeah, they use selenite to clean quartz.
Okay. Okay.
Selenite is a cleanser of quartz.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And also,
And
to go back to
recharge.
the top, and who was that, Kevin L?
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut in.
What's
Oh,
up?
man, no, cut on in, man.
Islam,
Bring your
Mo?
knife and your sword. Yeah, Islam.
Hey, thank
Good,
you,
man.
brother Siku, for allowing me to be on this experience. I'm listening to everybody, and I respect everybody's experience, and I admire and appreciate all these beautiful minds on the line right here. You guys, feel like a supercharged crystal. I'm feeling super superb and supreme right now, and I just wanted to I just wanted to drop one thing. I wanted to say that the God frequency or frequency of the gods is 963 hertz,
Mm.
Mm.
369.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow.
And the as far as the hypo or hippo, the hypothalamus is the master gland in your brain that sends information to every cell in your body to tell it what to do. And ashwagandha will detoxify or clean that up. And also for the pineal gland, the tamarind decalcifies.
Tamarindo.
The pineal gland is calcite, the quartz. But what happens? People say, "Oh, we had to decalcify." What it is, it's the fluoride that gets
Mm-hmm.
attached, and the
Right.
tamarind will uh, clean that fluoride out.
What will? Did you
And
say that again? What will do it?
it's tamarind, TAMARIND.
You,
Thank you.
they
Tamarind.
come in like they're like in little pods, and we used to see them as kids and play with those their little peas in a pod almost like that. But yeah, tamarind
Tamarind. Okay. You
decalcifies
finally saw.
the fluorite that gets attached to the pineal gland.
You go to a Mexican restaurant, any little Mexican place, the best tamarind that they sell at the little Mexican places that look real tiny, like they have a little food truck, like look like ain't nobody going to it. You go to one of them, you say, man, let me get a tamarindo. And man, they'll give you a drink so delicious. That tamarindo tastes so good. And yeah, that's right, Kev. It's an excellent cleanser for your liver, kidney, too.
I
Tamarindo,
appreciate
that's right.
that.
And in California, in Cali, we just walk down the street. They be all over the sidewalk, man. You could just reach up and get a handful, take them home and boil them and get you a delicious drink.
Tamarind.
Oh, yeah. And they come in a pod. That's right. They come in a little pod. That's how you know it's tamarindo. That's one of
Man.
my favorites. It looks like root beer. It looks like a watered down root beer, real light brown. They have another one that it looks like Jamaica. It looks like it's spelled Jamaica, but it's called Jamaica. It's hibiscus flower. That's another
Yes.
power. Yeah, the hibiscus. They drink that's in Jamaica they call it sorrel. Sorrel.
Yeah. Surreal. Okay. Yeah. I've heard.
That's another powerful one. That's in the same kind of family right there. You see those in Mexican spot. You see they have Jamaica and tamarindo all the time.
The
Hey,
bag
Kev,
selected.
thank you, Kev, for being here, man. And
I
Kaya French,
appreciate
I
it.
think Kaya French is beaming in too. Baba USIKU 313.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
You keep on going.
Uh-huh.
I see my nephews checked in a little bit too. You know, I he shared some information with me, and I was sitting at home yesterday. I started reading about his dream. I had to text him like, "I'm holding you back, nephew." You know what I'm saying, like that, because his dream was like, "It's time for you to flow." You know what I'm saying? I won't share it. If you said I can share it, you can get some more information from me all about it, but I won't do that. But I had to admit that. I'm like, hey, when it's time to step out the way, step out the way. The ancestors say they want it. You know what I mean? We'll take it from here. So that's
Yeah, Kev's over there in the Georgia. Kev's over there in the granite state of Georgia, man. The Georgia Stone.
man, you would have saw me when I was down there. When I discovered through study and reading that Stone Mountain was quartz and you know what I mean, and tourmaline. You know what I'm saying? And you could see me from a mile away. Look at that boy stealing. You know what I mean? Get me some of that, mom.
Hey,
I
Baba,
was,
that granite
yes,
mountain goes 17 miles in the ground. 17 miles in the ground.
man, that's
Stone
crazy,
Mountain.
bro.
17 miles down in the
Wow, I
ground.
didn't know that. And
Wow.
then the spring, they steal it and bottle the water. You know what I mean? Remember I was on the water thing for a while. Come to find out, they had a quartz spring that they bottled the water.
Mm.
Come, you know what I mean? Ain't saying a word to nobody. Yeah, barely can afford a gallon of it's deep, man. But it's just powerful. Because I got from Baba Lester talking. I need to wear a little more tourmaline from time to time. I need to add it to you know piece I just made. I just made a piece. Like man, I'm gonna go back and add some tourmaline because the piece I added I learned from Baba Lester was I wanted to invert how you create electromagnet. You know what I mean? Like you coil this thing around a nail and put electricity to it, right? You create a magnet. So I said I wanted it on my neck. So what I did was I did the quartz, I wound the quartz up and all that, but I put a tapping trigger on it. So as you move, it
Uh-huh.
taps against the quartz. You know what I mean? So, which
Yep.
would help
Yep.
generate the electricity from your body. You see, so it tapped
Mm-hmm.
like that. So if you're doing your ritual movie, you got this piece. You understand? You get me, Bob. I know it's crazy, but you taught me this stuff.
Yep.
And it's tapping, it's moving. and it's hitting the
That's
quartz.
right.
Yeah, yeah. And so it helps with your body's electromagnetic, create the electromagneticity when you want to do your ritual with your throat. But I'm gonna add some tourmaline to it. You know what I mean? Like that. Because I did it with, some of the quartz, and then I did it with I wanted it and connected it with a blue stone. What's the blue stone that works with your throat chakra? It's crazy. But that's our
Kyanite?
ingenuity. Hmm?
Are you talking
Uh
about kyanite? Sodalite?
Oh,
no, but I love
what?
kind. I love blue kyanite. Yeah, man. Dang, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
think of that. Yeah,
Kyanite. That's funny.
I
We got
love
Kaya French
kyanite.
out there listening, and she loves Kyanite. Kyanite. Yeah, Kyanite is
Mm-hmm.
smooth. Boy, I like how he got that. How he got that. It got that sheen. It got like that. What you call that? It's a stone up there that be in Vermont. I forgot, but yeah. I love Kyanite. That's a bomb one right there.
Yeah,
Beautiful stone, Kyanite.
and it picks
Mustard.
up because kyanite has aluminum in it, which
Yes.
is like what they
Yes.
used to use for the antennas. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's
Mm-hmm.
when I got into kyanite because of the aluminum. It's like, what? You got aluminum? Yeah, I can pick up stuff. Yeah, yeah, it's
That's
definitely.
granite. Granite has aluminum. That's what makes granite so powerful, Baba. Is aluminum.
Mm.
That's feldspar. It's aluminum. And you know where the most aluminum comes from? Ukraine.
Oh,
That's the king of aluminum is Ukraine.
well, we about to
Mm.
own it because Trump trying to own it. Yeah. He's after that at
Yeah,
first.
aluminum.
Yeah, my man said, look,
That's
Hey,
also
how about
labradorite
cobalt?
is aluminum. Oh, cobalt. Yeah.
cobalt. Okay.
Cobalt. Yeah, that's copper, aluminum, um, cobalt. Another stone too. Yeah, cobalt, coprite,
Mm-hmm.
oh, malachite. Yeah,
Right.
chrysocolla,
Right.
the copper spectrum. I heard Kufunya mention the seven, seven strikes of the bowl. That's that seven, like the seven wrappings of a copper wire around a crystal. Baba, what's the importance
That's
of
right.
seven wrappings?
Right.
But what
What's the
about
importance of
pyrite?
that?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry, I
pyrite.
didn't mean to step on you. Go
Yeah,
ahead
no,
and
no,
finish. Go ahead and finish.
no. Go to pyrite, man. That's powerful. Pyrite. That's the shit. They found lithium in pyrite, y'all. If y'all got y'all pyrite, man, you know the value of pyrite went up because they found lithium in pyrite.
Oh,
Yeah,
word? Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Uh huh. That's phosphorus.
Well, but if you want to work with lithium, you get lepidolite.
Oh, okay.
Lepidolite in other words, lepidolite has way more lithium content than pyrite. Pyrite also has gold in it, a small amount, but it has a little bit of gold in it too.
Yeah, that's why they call it fool's gold. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I call that lepidolite, but I know what you're talking about. It's kind of thin, like mica. It's like
Yes.
yeah, okay.
That expression is called micaceous.
Okay, micaceous. There you go. Yeah.
Right, stones that grow like that. Yes, I wanted to name my daughter that. Micaceous, come here.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, lithium is big right now. Yeah, pyrite,
Sure.
what's that? Spodumene,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's a lot of beryllium. All berylliums have lithium.
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
it's like you make a medallion, you put some kyanite, some pyrite, and some what is it? GENV. Dang, I can't pronounce the word. But it's a block, so it blocks frequency. And
Uh-huh.
it'll sit on your aura and just block stuff from coming through. What is that word? Grenada. Is it Grenada? Grenada? It's Grenada, something like that, right? Yeah. And
Oh,
then
yeah,
back
you
in
talking
the
about Galena.
Galena, yes, yeah. You put them together in
Oh,
your little
Galena,
bottle
yes, sir.
and wear that, Joan. Yeah, that's gonna block some stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Galena. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Galena got that shine just like pyrite.
That's right. That's right.
You
To
do when
be
you break it
fair.
open. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Amen. Big up to the Crystal Empire, not Kingdom Empire. The Crystal
Mm-hmm.
Empire. And man, this build has been off the Richter scale, man. Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, we haven't even talked about purple stone, but yeah, definitely the green, the heart chakra need. I know my heart is going through the car wash, and so yeah, I'm so glad for this build and for the feminine energy that joined us, and the nine came up a lot, 900-foot mountain,
Mm-hmm.
you know, yeah, 2160. You know, just man, just I mean, I couldn't have made that up. You know, I didn't. You know, y'all came in with that, so that covers the title of the show, man. It's all right there. The nine is, and we just now entered into. I mean, we haven't even started going into the curve yet of the nine. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah. We can't gain enough momentum to take that curve because we might turn over. So we got to enter into the first curve kind of slow. So that's how I feeling it out right now. It's like, oh man, it's like I was slowed down like a turtle, man. But it's naturally though, right? Turtle Island, got to slow down. So yeah, man, I got
Or
to start
drop
confirming.
down lower to mother.
Yeah. So mushrooms. How can I say it? The Mushroom Kingdom and the Crystal Kingdom, man. You imagine them two brothers working together. What? Nitrogen and crystal? Man, what? That's your original computer right there. That's your quantum
That's
computer right
right.
there.
That's right.
Yeah, mycelium and crystals, man, working together. All what you say, Bobby. You enter into one side of the forest, and the other way, 3,000 miles on the other side of the forest. They know you just entered in.
That's right. That's
They
right.
know your frequency and everything. They know exactly what you need. Yeah. Oh yeah, this brother right here, he needs some magnesium. As he walked through here, we're gonna get him to take his shoes off. So he can get these You know what I mean? You wondering, man, I feel like taking my shoes off. Hey, they urging you to do that. That energy coming through them trees, through the ground, through the air. They say, man, take your shoes off, man. You standing on holy ground, Moses. Take your shoes off and give you exactly what you need, man. Wow. Come on, y'all. Man, anybody want a black tourmaline, man? I'll blast y'all when I send y'all. I'll sell y'all one through the mail. SAIL, not SALE.
There you go. Right. Right. Right.
SAIL. I will sell y'all a black. It won't be pure black. It will be calcite tourmaline combination.
Excellent. That's
That's a
excellent.
good tune.
O-
Yeah.
Okay, it's so funny. It's so funny you brought up the mushroom thing because for those of us who are into the mycelium world, a lot of times mushrooms are grown using vermiculite. You ever heard of vermiculite?
Sure have. Yep. That's like.
Okay,
That's like. Okay, go ahead, Bob. Go ahead.
it's stuff that you add to the soil. Well, that's mica.
Come on, man. Come on.
So they already be there.
Oh man, come on. That's like peat moss, son. You add peat moss, vermiculite.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah. That's where I know it from
Mm-hmm.
gardening and using peat moss and
Mm-hmm.
vermiculite. Yeah, wow, never knew that. Mycaceous.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, E, what properties or what benefit does that vermiculite? Well, I should ask Doc that question also. They
Go
got
ahead,
healing
Bob.
properties, all of that. Yeah. Hey, Baba, please.
Well, once again, it exists as a very thin form of mica, so we know that it'll speed up the rate of healing, and also, like we've been saying before, it is an excellent insulator. So you can use it to ward off things. If you're going into court or an environment that's not aligned properly, you can use the vermiculite for that. And it's inexpensive.
Expensive. Wow. And I heard Baba USIKU bring up obsidian, and we want to talk about
Uh-huh.
mirrors.
Ooh,
Yep.
obsidian.
Yeah, obsidian mirrors in the Olmecs, they was heavy with obsidian mirrors and a certain type of magical communication with the ethers through obsidian mirrors. Bobby, you got any build on that?
Oh, sure.
Mm.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go, because I got to do a little quick research. Because I know Bobby, him and did some on the Black Mirror, and I thought it was like one. I'm gonna do some research on it to make sure it was Obsidian Mirror he was talking about. Like, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yes. Obsidian was used not just. Okay. Let me back up. Obsidian is the result of magma, which has been living below the ground in the batholith, or the giant container that all volcanoes have. And only after it comes out and is exposed to the air and cools down is it obsidian. Okay. So the first thing that we can draw from obsidian is that it helps to bring things out that are hidden or that have been held onto. So it could be secret knowledge, it could be unknown parts of ourselves, like that. The second part, of course, is that obsidian is almost always associated with water, because volcanoes always have some degree of water. And so obsidian has been used for tens of thousands of years for for what we call scrying. Okay, scrying these days is used with just looking into a pool of water. But back in the day, because our senses were heightened, we were able to look at the obsidian, and we get the vision from the water vapor. So it's not like liquid water; it's just like little molecules of water. But those molecules would give us the vision of what we're looking for. So, in other words, we think of the mirror as just reflecting what's in front of it, but the black obsidian reflects everything that's in front of it, past, present, and future.
Even what you can't see. That's awesome. Wow.
That's right. That's right.
I got a question. Can you hear me?
Hey, Kaya French.
Yes.
Hey, how y'all doing today? Peace and love to the platform today. So you was talking about the mirror. Would that be something similar to the movie Beauty and the Beast? When they had that mirror, they can see what was going on, what Bella's said, and the
Right.
Beast.
That's right.
And
Yes.
then you mentioned, so it also took me back to another form, the movie Pocahontas, right? But this one is a little different because they were using smoke. Her father, who was a native, well, I won't say native, but they were kind of like Indians or whatever they call it. Yeah, they used that smoke, and they can see what was forthcoming for them. Like, that just took me back in the days when people used to do those type of services.
Okay. Once again, when we burn the wood, okay, the moisture from inside the wood comes out, and that's what gives us the ability to see those rituals. It's the water, is what I'm saying. It's just that it's inside the wood.
The magical property.
Right. So the vapors, exactly. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to tell you my favorite scrying scenes in the movies. The Mummy. Boris Karloff. He looks into that pool, and he sees that he was married to that woman thousands of years ago. And the rest of the movie is him pursuing her to get her back. But yeah, that's a great scrying scene.
Wow.
And no, hold on.
I remember it. Yeah, I remember that. I watched that movie several times that. So, because there's certain words he said, and I want to memorize
That's
the
right.
words he
Right.
said. Yeah, and he
Right.
had on the Moorish hat. Yeah, I
Oh, he
remember
sure
that too.
did.
Yeah, he had
Sure
on this.
did.
He did. Yeah, I remember because I was like, "What? What did this dude say?" You know what I mean?
That's right.
I had to learn what he
Mm-hmm.
said for that. Yeah, this is a very serious thing. Go ahead on
And
you.
how does the movie end?
Did he drown?
No. Okay.
Fellas, I don't know how I ended.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I said fellas, but I don't remember how it ended.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boris has got the woman cornered. Because he's going to kill her so they could be eternally together. Right? He's still a mummy. And this is an English woman that has come to Egypt to be with her father. Right? So she doesn't know anything about this. She doesn't remember being his woman. And he's about to kill her. And out of her mouth, she says, "Isis, help me." And the statue arm moves, and she points the arc at him, and electricity comes out and knocks that Negro dead.
Damn, that's deep.
Yeah.
I gotta go and watch that.
Man, they be dropping
That's
some
all
hidden
money,
sign.
right?
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause when you see that scribe point, I watch it about because it's like they dropping science in this junk. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And he had the feds on the whole time, so they was like,
Yeah.
you know,
you, you,
but
you know
I
that
want to see
you
the
know
ISIS
that
part.
you know that's the capstone pyramid.
I didn't know that.
The fez, yeah. Just like the cap you wear when you graduate.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pyramid.
Wow.
And you take the tassel from one side and you flip it over to the other side. That's straight out of Egypt. The fetlock. Ooh, okay. The next time you watch the Ten Commandments, look at what Pharaoh does when they're putting the armor on him. He takes his fetlock from the left side, which is receiving, and he flips it over to the right side, which is sending out energies because he's going to smite them. And our cap for graduating, that's just a remnant of that.
And they
The
do
movies,
same
my friend, the movies.
flags. Right, Doc?
Say that again? I didn't hear you.
They do the same thing with flags, just like what Trump said. He can stay president forever because the United States is still under a war tribunal. The flag is not going in the other direction.
That's right. Wow.
Got some sharp cats on this line. Kittens and cats on this line. Sharp. Oh man, hey, I want to ask Kevin L. If he could tell us about his experience with labradorite and birds, since we've been talking about birds.
I have some labradorite right here by hand and tanzanite. But with the labradorite, I'll go out in the sun and flash it around a little bit, and birds will come over here. Bluebirds, red robins, they just start showing up singing.
Wow.
And Baba, thank you for allowing the female energy on the show today. I really needed to hear some sisters that got it going on like these sisters there. And I wanted to elaborate back on the mountain, the Stone Mountain over here in Georgia. They had Moors and intelligent brothers collaborating on that mountain, and they shut them down from doing that.
Mm.
Wow. Even blew some of it up, right? Didn't they blow some of the mountain up?
That is, yes, they did.
Wow.
Yep, they blew a big chunk over there to stop people from going up there. Can't stop it though,
Yeah.
y'all. Can't stop baby kid.
You know, this sounds crazy, but I call Atlanta Peru. You know what I mean? Because like I did some reading and I was studying this crap because I was studying about the lake. You know, where the lady of the lake out there, and found out that back in the day they used to have those pedestal gardens like you see in certain city puts on the high mountains in Peru. You know how they cut into the mountain and they would garden, then go down the
Yeah.
step, them step garden. Yeah, they used to have
Yeah.
them around Atlanta like that. Yep, Joe did. And so when you go up to uh Carterville and they show you the art, it's identical to what the art was in Peru at that time. Identical. So you know there was a connection there. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I said to say that to them brothers, they can't stop it because Atlanta is all energy. You know what I mean? So it's like just being in Atlanta, wherever they sit, and then if they call in their ancestors, it's gonna be because Atlanta is just energy. It just
Mm.
is.
All
You know what I mean?
melanation.
Oh,
What what's
because
the
there's
name? What's the commercial name for Atlanta? The ancient name for Atlanta.
Atlantis.
No, the jewel of the South. Going back to Crystal,
Mm.
the
Wow.
jewel of the South. Old man told me that.
So if y'all go to Ring and Stone Network, scroll down about five shows, you're gonna see a brother named Hamza Catlet Bay. Hamza Catlet Bay. The Lyrians are coming. Man, y'all check that out. Y'all check that
Okay.
brother out. He called Atlanta. He said wherever you see AT in a word, the C is the K. It was no C, it was the K. The K is automatically implied whenever you see something start with AT. So Atlanta is Catlanta. Cat. And man, the way that brother break down cats, it's in the Articles of Confederation. It's in oh man, I ain't never heard nobody break down the cat like that, but yeah, he'll make you super aware of what's going on around here with this cat. It's powerful. So yeah, thank you, Baba USIKU, for putting that up there. Baba USIKU, back in his earlier radio days, interviewed this powerful brother. He the only brother that played against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in high school because they was undefeated, and his team was the only team that could beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar team. He was a real powerful brother, and his last name is Catlet. And his dad was a famous drummer, jazz drummer. Y'all go check it out, man. It'll blow your mind to how he break down the cat. How many places named after cat? What about Catalina Island in Los Angeles, California, where the man from Wrigley Field, Chicago, bought that island? Catalina. Yeah, so the cat is definitely up, man. It's up. You can't hide it, man. The 9 lives of the cat is on. I'm telling you, man, it's powerful. When y'all go hear that brother Hamza Catlet Bay, man, your mind gonna be peeled back. You're gonna be more aware of what's going on around here. That's powerful. Hey, man, I would love to met that brother Babu Siko in person, man. Dang, boy, his knowledge was off the chain. But you know, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a conscious brother too.
Oh,
Very
sure.
conscious. And a record collector, avid record collector too. Yeah, his agent ripped him off for millions of dollars and burnt his house down, man. Burnt up all his record collection.
Oh.
Yeah. Kareem caught hell, man, coming up. You know, he went through a lot of shit. He's more cool now. He's more, you know, now he talks more than ever. Back in the day, he never talked to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But now, you know, he's evolved. But yeah, some interesting stories, man, around here, man. A lot of people don't know some of the things that we attach to. That's people know about it, but you know, they hide it from us. But man, you can't hide. Ain't nowhere to hide. It's coming out. So yeah, y'all check that out. Get y'all a cat's eye, tiger's eye, crystal. To get up on that cat, man. Or the other side of Aquarius is definitely that's ironic because you know, Aquarius, that's all people talk about Aquarius, but they never talk about the other side of Leo.
Uh-huh.
Cat. And I'm gonna say it again. The quarterback, Jalen Alexander Hurts, The initials spells Ja, Jah, Ja. Can't make it up. It's deep, man, real deep. Born August the 7th.
Hmm.
Yeah, man, that's 7. So yeah, 7 keep coming up. 4, I heard 4 come up. Baba came on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Most people say 1, 2, 1, 2, check 1, 2. He said 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so that's 4. And that's Atum. Atum is 1, 2, 3, 4. Atum. Atum. 1, 2, 3, 4 in perfect order. 5 ratio. PHI. 5, 7, 8, 9. P is 7, H is 8, I is 9. Perfect order. Can't stop it. Yeah.
Hey, since you're breaking down words, Fox.
666.
Clever as a. Let's see. As clever as a fox.
Mm-hmm.
And the fox in South Carolina is red.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Oh man, yeah, they got great. Let me see. Colorado. Okay, here's some real deep about a fox. I've seen them in Colorado. 6 feet of snow. A fox. What he do? You see his ears. His ears go up, man. His ears become bigger than his body. He's just a little old thing. His ears go up, and the next thing you know, he leap up in the air and go head first. And when he come up, he got something that was buried down in the snow. He buried his head down in the snow.
Yes.
But
yes.
he don't dig. He don't dig because if he dig, whatever's down in the snow gonna move. So
Right.
he just leap up in the air and go head first into the snow. And when he come up, he got that in his mouth, whatever he was trying to get. So
That's
man,
right.
this dude something else, boy. The fox. And there's a pecking order. You would think a coyote, a roadkill, you would think a coyote would be eating and then the other vulture birds would be sitting back. Nope. The pecking order is the golden eagle eats first because he's bigger than a dog. The coyote is next because he's sitting back waiting for the golden eagle to finish. Then the bald eagle, then the fox. And you will see them all standing, you will see them all lined up waiting to eat that roadkill. Yeah, and people think that bald eagles don't eat roadkill. Man, what? In the freezing snow, they eat whatever's available. And on the river up there, in the river in Colorado, you could see thousands of bald eagles on the river waiting for the salmon to come upstream and die. It's amazing, man. That's one of the most, man, that place right there, man. The elk, I seen elk, man, look like dinosaurs. You know? It's scary, man. A moose. I've never seen a moose, but elk is like the size of a moose. Yeah, huge, man. Huge creatures, man. And yeah, just in the back to the golden eagle. Since we talking about eagles, the golden eagle, y'all, 3 times bigger than the bald eagle, and man, he looked like a dog. He looked like a dog. He's so big. When you see him far away, my nephew, he said, "Hey, look at that dog over there on the side of the road." He said, "Is that a wolf?" I said, "Man, nah, that ain't no wolf." I said, "Man, I think that's a gold eagle." He said, "Man, nah, that ain't no bird. That can't be a bird. That's too big to be a bird." I said, "Man, get your camera ready. Whatever it is, we're gonna take a picture of it." Man, sure enough, it was a gold eagle. And he didn't budge. He looked up at us like, "What? What?" You know, his talons to his feet looked like dog paws. So big. He couldn't believe it. But I drove tour buses up there, so that's how I get tips. I show people the wildlife up there, and they tip you. Club Med, I was driving for Club Med, and yeah, they would tip you big to go see the wildlife, but they never see that where they live. You know, Switzerland, France, they don't see creatures like. So yeah, they was amazed by that. But then after that, they want to hurry up and get to the club so they can go drink and ski and break their neck coming down the hill 80 miles an hour.
Wine is fine, but liquor's quicker. You know, I seen a video one time. These farmers trained eagles to protect their flock. And just like what you're saying, they made this coyote, I guess what it was, run. And this eagle swarmed down on his ass, killed him. It was that golden eagle. It was big as the dog was. Think about it.
I
He
saw it this
landed on his
weekend.
ass. You saw that?
I saw it this week. I was happy to just be looking at shows. Yeah, I saw it too. Boy, they was like, "What? You got that baby sheep?" And they sick that. Yeah, they called in them dudes that handle. You right. Yeah, yeah. He didn't stand a chance. Yeah.
Not a chance. That joint is crazy, man. I say, wow.
And in Philadelphia, they actually have an eagle. They have an eagle rook, eagles rookery, which is what they call it, a bird place. Eagles rook in Philadelphia. They actually have where they keep eagles. They keep bald eagles and golden eagles up there in
Wow.
Philadelphia. I mean, they big on that. And Dan Winter, man, I'm gonna have to send y'all out. Y'all can share it. Dan Winter, man, he do a special on Philadelphia, the greenstone of Philadelphia, and the Ontario Shield, which is a tectonic plate, one of the oldest tectonic plates. It runs up through Canada and New York. And he said the eagle, so it's he called it a simulacra, which is natives used to talk to the mountains and shape the mountains with their voice into the creature that they want. So Philadelphia Mountains is the eagle, and the beak is facing toward Ohio's Serpent Mound. And he said the eagle is trying to put the snake, the serpent, in his mouth to squeeze the Kundalini juice to activate the pineal gland in the eagle. And he said, and the wing of the eagle goes down into North Carolina to a special mound. It's an ancient mound in Carolina where the eagle's wing stretches down into, and he got it all mapped out. You could see it that the natives did this with a mind. The natives used to be connected to everything, rocks, water, like we know. They was connected to everything. So they used to focus. That's what what's those three faces in the mountains that they have up there with those presidents?
Yeah.
Yeah, they created that, and then later on they came and chiseled it, to look like the Albion. Exactly. Yeah, but and the same thing goes in Peru. There's faces in the rocks in Peru. Yeah.
Look at the name of the place, Mount Rushmore.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. There you go. Hiding that cat again. Man. Mount Rushmore. That's right. Right there, man. Yes, sir, man. Yeah, deep stuff, man. Deep, man. Did Dan Winter, man, or something else, man. He's a Jesuit. He went to Jesuit school in Detroit, and he has phenomenal information. Most of it is written. When you look at his written information, the way he talks about the golden mean ratio, the way he talks about Philadelphia and the Americas, they came here and moved the native off the land, and then they've been catching hell ever since. Which they won't tell you, but he's talking to his own people about they have to how do you call it, embed. They have to embed with the sun flares, with the solar flares and the sunspots, the CMEs that come to the earth. He's gonna wipe them out. So what he's trying to do is they trying to fix their heart so they won't be wiped out by the solar flares. And that's a major work he's been doing for years. And he talks about it openly. He said that the natives here, we have to repair what we destroyed of theirs, or else we're going to get burnt up by the sun. So it's all for them. It's all about fixing their heart and and embedding into this land, because their energy is not of this land. So they came over here and put their energy on it, and now it's awkward. And it's funny that they have a center in basketball for the Philadelphia 76ers called Joel Embiid, what looks like embed. Oh man, come on, man. So I'm telling you that when you born, just like Jesus or Yeshua, whoever you want to call him, they look for him. They look for his birth numbers, which is your birth chart. Is so important. Your natal chart. They followed his natal chart. They knew he was a special being, and this still goes on today. Y'all. They still looking for that signature person, that person with that golden signature that can change things. And it's a lot of us. We baby kids. We don't die. We multiply. So we're all out here now. We're like quartz crystals, man. We're right on. Hey, I'm gonna go back to Kendrick Lamar. He might not know it, but he's saying the things that we need to hear. We outside, y'all. We outside. We not buried under the ground no more. Just like the movie Us. Remember in Us, everybody's a gobbledygook was coming up out the ground to kill them. They were trying to kill the original of you and put the doppelganger here. They've been showing up. They've been that brother. What's his name? Jordan Peele with Get Out and Us. Man, you put those two movies together and say Get Out U.S. And right in our face.
Yeah, United States need to get the hell out of here. You right about that?
Yeah. I mean, but he's showing you what they're about. He's showing you, man. They harvest your organs. They after your melanin. They want your eyes. They want your eyes. They having silent auctions. Man, that was some deep stuff, man. I still can't forget Get Out, man.
Like I said, they want all the external resources, like the IRS, all the internal revenues in your body.
Oh, man. Wow. IRS, they want everything. They want it all. That's right. They show, and it was a family business, y'all. A family. They had the little girl. They had the little girl out there, man, bringing all these brothers to the house. A family business. Hey, we're here. So this whole build is based on pi or phi ratio, right? So let's go to Get Out. They was looking for the brother, right? They say, hey, man, have you seen so and so? He said, hey, man, guess what? I seen that dude at this party I went to, man. My girl, he was over there, and he said, man, he was acting strange. So remember, he came out. Homeboy took a picture of him, but it was the flash from George Clinton flashlight. It was the flash from the camera that woke him up, right out of his spell. And then they took him back in the back room and put him back under again. It was the light from the camera. So let's go to the camera. CANERA. ERA we know is an era, and we are in the golden era of Aquarius. But CAM, CAM, which we know means black, let's go to the numbers of CAM. C is 3, A is 1, and M is 4. Back to that Piezo ratio. Hypnosis, because he was under hypnosis. But they woke him up with the 314, the camera, the CAM era. Pi broke him out of his spell. So, man, that's how deep this is, man. It go way deeper than that. But, hey, like Kendrick say, man, we outside. Turn your TV off. We outside.
Do you remember when Kendrick Lamar said, take it off at first in the N95? I told y'all to take off all that lean, take off all that fake hair, the toupee, take it off. Now he's telling y'all to turn the TV off. You know, so he's telling y'all that his music was going on.
Yeah, so Kaya, you know, we touched on everything but Kendrick Lamar. So, you know, you know that generation where, you know, you talk to us about that. What did you think with Kendrick Lamar in the halftime show and just his music period in hip hop? Because hip hop, it seems like he's the only one that's out there in hip hop right now. There's really people listening to.
Well, the fact, well, you got Jupiter and Gemini. Do y'all remember back? I think it was like 2020. It had been like 2019 or 2020 when it was a summer when they were trying to go after Donald Trump and those files. Do y'all remember then who was in the news?
I don't.
If not, it was Donald Trump, Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West, and Fetty Wap. What do they all have in common? They were all Gemini.
Yeah.
You got Jupiter and Gemini. So was it prone that Trump's gonna win this election? He got Jupiter on his side. We say Jupiter is our emerald card, right? The fact that he's a Gemini and Uranus about to go into Gemini as well too. So Kendrick Lamar speaks about how this revolution will be televised. You got Uranus about to go into peak itself into Gemini towards the end of the summer. So Geminis are very present. So we got to see what Kanye West doing, because before it was Kanye and Kyrie Irving, right, as well too. But all the Gemini energy is going on. So Jupiter and Gemini is the talk. People's talking get you talking, get you thinking, get you alert. It's about the laws, because Jupiter rules the ninth house, which is the laws. We've been seeing that been really going on, but it was more secret-handed 2 years ago. There wasn't really like how they doing things now, how Donald Trump is in the office right now, is just he just going at it and going at it and going at it. And because it's time for things for law to be changed, natural resources. And 9 deals with, we in the 2025 year, I'm a numerologist. So we're in 2025 year where deals with the 9. And one thing you don't know about the 9 is what do you have as your resources in your home to reach the natural resources of the earth. I heard you talking about the stones earlier, the minerals earlier that you can take to help with your body to detoxify. So this is a time for purging as well too, because 9 is the ending of things breaking away from you, things are bad habits, things of people who've been around you in your environment, to be no longer that serves a purpose, or keep them at a distance, keep them at bay, because you're on another level trying to elevate in a 9 year. And you do have to have patience. Back to Kendrick Lamar, I would just say that he was just a Gemini, so he would be very supportive. And if y'all remember, in one of his, I think it was Turn the TV Off song, that he said in his lyrics, when he said, I walked in New Orleans, I'm from California. Did he not just do that at the Super Bowl? Like literally. So it was already either he's prophetic in his words, or he already knew he'd be at the Grammys, or knew he'd already be at the Super Bowl. It's just, it's in his music already. On that part.
That part, yeah. A lot of twin things. It was a 20-year-old that they said tried to do the assassination attempt. A 20-year-old. Kamala Harris, 20. The number 20. Twins everywhere, like you say. Gemini. The twin theme is. I've been talking about the twins for years, because we ever since 2020. 2019, 2017, 20. You can't say twin without can't say 20 without saying twin. And so we're gonna be seeing a lot of twins.
Around that time that y'all was seeing twins around that time, remember, we just got through the nodes changing. It was the North Node was in Gemini and the South Node was in Sag. So you saw a lot of twinning around that time as well too. So and think about twins, Gemini. It's not just one airplane going down. It's one after another. So it's twinning out here, right? It's twin. So it's going to be doubles. Like, you see doubles when you see twins, you see 2. So you see one more pair, it's going to be another pair. And then what I mentioned, I heard you say 2. See, the USA, the United States, is in a 2 personal year, although we are traveling in a 2025, so that's on a universal scale. But America, or the USA, based on their July 4th, 1776, has already begun their new era, which started in late 2023 going into 2024. They started this new agenda already going through. So we talk about how things are going to end. Yeah, that's on a global scale, international scale, but America is ahead. America's in a 2. So what we're going to see now, what we're seeing now already, is water-related things. So digestive issues will be a matter of things as well. Issues in the water, or like we see in floods now, heavy storms coming through. Just water period will be a thing that's something like a high alert element, or a lack of water. And that was from, I had got that information from the ancestors earlier, right before. I didn't even know California was flooded. But 2 days later, I found out that California had a mudslide. But the ancestors already told me, so I'm thinking if y'all, tap into the Orishas, Oshun and Oya, and what's the other lady? Yemaya. They coming through. Does that water look way alive right now? It's pushing. It's like, get out of the way, because I'm coming through with water. So that will be another issue, water and fire. Now, 9 deals with 2025 when the 9, so 9 deals with electrical issues. So if you have lights flickering in your home, even lights flickering in your car, even engine things that's going on related in your car or in the home, right? In like the airplane, it deals with the safety measures of things. So in the 9, you see a lot of accidents, freak accident. I'm bumping or bruising myself. When you walk, you just hit your toe, hit your hand on, hit your feet on the couch or something while you're walking through your house. It's just those minor things will come about in a 9 particular year. And we've seen all the disasters right now, natural disasters that are happening, whether they did it by, Biden always kept saying, build back better, but what was you building back better? Is it what's going on right now that y'all put Trump into place to build back better, to do the bidding? Because there's some 9 deals with secrets, but it's open and behind the scenes secrets going on. So this thing is going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing as well too in the 9 particular year. So we see more guns or accidents or fire explosions and those type of things that's going on around anything that deals with fire related, even guns. Not only that, theft. Theft is the big thing. Not only because we're in a 9 year, but America has Chiron in Aries and the 4th house. The 4th house is your mother. It is your roots. It is where your paperwork at, where you can trace your ancestry history from. It's in the 4th house where you emotionally have a home, a foundation to stand on. That's what gives you that emotion when you're in the womb of the mother. So that deals with the water, right? America's in it too. So it's going to be women coming up to the surface, or things about women going on in the news as well too, like the mothers, or just things with children as well too. And the 9 year, what I say also we in the 2 we also in a 2 because America's in a 2 year. So when you in a 2 year, things are up and down. It's not affirmed, it's not confirmed yet. It has to have some more details. So really about what's in the details that's playing out in reality on the physical realm right now that we're seeing right now. It's the details that we need to pay attention to, the breadcrumbs, the hints, the clues, like certain words, how y'all breaking down certain words right now. Just those little bitty things can lead to other things, bigger things like that. And a 9.
Ooh, wait. And the details of the cat. And man, that's crazy. Yeah, that was superb. Thank you, Kaya Knight.
Thank you. Speaking of cats, exactly when the water ancestor had tapped me into the flood, it was I was sleeping, but I felt the energy of something there. So sooner it was a cat crying. I guess, when females are in heat, they started to have a little cry, a mating season. So the cat came through. So I'm like, what's up with these cats around here? And then last night, it's 2 cats over here mating on my back porch. I'm just saying, it's the cat. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get some energy over here. And that cat didn't come over here and start mating. But yeah, the cat kingdom, period.
Hey, Kyla, they want you to be a copycat. They want you to copy them, be a copycat. They're trying to give you a signal.
Okay, something about to be going on. Copy that, Roger.
Copy that, Roger. Game phone.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
I just want to verify that the cats, we got outside cats here, and they were having sex yesterday. Just yesterday.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, I have to mention that in California and the West Coast, we will hear on the news that they're being influenced by these things called atmospheric rivers. Do you know what that is?
No, I haven't heard of it.
Okay, an atmospheric river comes from the Pacific, and it's literally like a highway of water that travels a couple thousand feet above the surface of the sea, and it's hitting California and Oregon and Washington. But once again, this is from your description. We're going to be seeing a lot of these atmospheric rivers, and that's what caused that the mudslide that you were talking about. But that's another example of Aquarius. Water flying through the air.
Indeed, it sure is.
And I want to thank you so much. Your description was food. It was literally food.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you much.
Hey, Kyla, tell him how you affect me with that food. That's funny. He said that. Every time I talk to Kyla, I want to eat.
So Eric say I get yearning when we talking, and then he get to eating. So it's like I'm feeding him, and I'm going to sleep, or I'm recharging my energy or something. It just is weird, but that's how the energy works. What Eric and we have a conversation and stuff, and he just got a munch on something. And even myself, I got a munch on something because I'm a writer, so I guess my mind be constantly thinking and stuff like that. So I gotta tone it down. So I got to get some more of that variant. Is a blue variant that may help?
That's funny that Baba said that. It was food, man. There you go. That confirms that. That was right on point. Hey, y'all, we can't make this kind of stuff up. This why, that's why I think about, I love these kind of calls, Nature put it together. I was trying to force it to come together, but it came together when it was supposed to. And Kaya, and I don't know if Kevin L was here earlier in the bill, but we had Kafunya on with her rose quartz singing bowl. And she chimed us up real good before she went to Nicholas, Brooklyn, in New York to do a bill. But looking forward to that Ross Ben and Lester Lovin bill live stream coming up in March. Looking forward to that. That's gonna be powerful right there. And hey man, Babu Siku, man, thank you for the ringing stone, man. It was ringing hard tonight, my brother. Really, ringing really hard.
I want to add something before you conclude. You know what I mean? The frequencies that a cat put out will decalcify your pineal gland. So sometimes when they're making love like that, you close your eyes and meditate. I did it once, right? And that opened me up. You know what I mean? Like that. And it definitely opened me up. And so you'll see now that whenever I do a sweat lodge, I always yell that sound. And if I go in the sweat lodge, I man, like that. I always call in that cat energy in every sweat lodge I do from that. You know what I mean? And that was like February 22nd of 04. I remember when the cats was out there yelling and that. So it was very deep. Because I had went into a tent. And then that night, it was just, yeah, and I just closed my eyes and just smelled. At the time, I didn't realize cats made that much noise. If it was a cat out there, I just know as I listened and just meditated, pretty soon it sounded like I was hearing them inside my mind.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Well, it's so funny.
I thought that cat was inside my mind at first because I felt it and I heard it. I'm like, it sounded like a little baby crying, but it was the cat crying.
I gotta talk now. Y'all done brought up my whole science here. Okay. First of all, in the last 2 years, regular conventional science has proven that a cat's purr will speed up the rate of a bone healing in the human body. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the cat's voice, in particular the kittens, but the cat's voice is between 2,500 and 5,000 hertz in the audible range. Well, guess what? The human ear is specifically tuned to resonate between 2,500 and 5,000 hertz. So when you said you were feeling or sensing the cat inside your mind, it's literally, that's the resonant frequency that will activate our minds. Wow. Literally. Okay. Oh yeah, no, the cat, and they specifically they specifically tune when they're talking to us humans, not when they're talking to each other. When they're talking to us humans, they imitate the frequency of the baby's voice
Yes.
range.
Wow, that's interesting. Because I sure went out there and gave it some milk, some warm milk, because it's cold here in Detroit. I'm in Detroit, and I gave it some milk, but it sounds just like a baby. But that cat, it's staying around my house, so I guess it'll be back tonight again.
I like to say something. When my husband passed, he passed at, I had 2 cats. He passed at 5:55 in the morning in the house, and the other cat, one of my cats, died at 10 o'clock that night. And since after he, I buried him and everything, the cats that are left, and I got another cat, they helped me through my mourning. And they even help me now if I'm feeling kind of down. I have a ginger that I had gotten, and he's the baby. He will come and lay his heart next to my heart. And they do give off good vibrations. A lot of people don't realize how dynamic the cat is. And they also will try to make the sounds that you make.
That's right.
I have one cat that wants to go out in the garage, and he'll say out. So they do vocalize a lot. And I feel that they are very spiritual, because when you guys start talking about the cats, my my ginger, I was not going to say anything before. My ginger came up to my phone and was listening as if he knew what y'all were talking about every time you was talking.
They do. That's right.
I know that sounds strange, but yeah.
No, they understand English. You brought up you brought up another point. I forgot this, but you brought up another point. The cat's heartbeat is 150 times per minute.
Oh.
Okay. And a newborn's heartbeat is 150 times per minute.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Okay, so that's equivalent to the number 15. She said her husband died at 555.
Wow. Stop it.
It's deep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
No, please continue, Fatima, please.
Yeah. Well, my family. I'll just share something about my family. They because they knew I love my cats, and my husband did like the cats. They said, well, Al just said, now look, this is 50-50. I'm taking him with me. And we kind of joked about it, that because that was his favorite cat. So they are very spiritual. Huh?
I was saying, Well, okay. So what we haven't talked about yet is the fact that the domestic house cat, the short hair, okay, that didn't exist until Egypt.
Oh, okay.
They genetically altered the wild African cat and basically, came up with this thing that we know as cats. And so I had to ask myself, well, why did they do this?
Yeah.
And it was right there. It was right there in the hieroglyphs. The cats are the guardians. They can see into the other dimensions. That's what they say.
Yeah.
And we know that.
Yeah. My cats will all automatically come up and sit with me and then stare like they're looking at something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
And it's kind of like they're thinking they're protecting me, but that's the stance that they take. If they'll come next to me and stare, and that lets me know something is in the room. I don't that they see that I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you remember the movie back when the C-19 was going on? The movie called Soul, when Jamie Foxx played in it, and he fell into the sinkhole, and they had to meditate. They had to meditate him, the guy that be on the streets with the singing and the moving and all of the kind of stuff like that. He had to get him back, but put him in a meditative state to get him back because he was in a coma or something, to get him back to remember what happened, like the time frame and everything. And when he woke up, because the girl and him was trying to get back, when they woke up, Jamie Foxx got switched from his body to the cat, and the girl was him. I mean, the girl was herself. No, the girl was him, but they got switched with the cat body. But they gave him a cat to get better because they say cats help you heal. They have the healing ability to it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to put that in the movie, so it's an interesting movie to watch.
Mm.
Once again, y'all, Ringing Stone Network. You go to Ringing Stone Network YouTube. The last show up there will be Myra Moss. Last year. Baba USIKU, can you remind us of what time Myra Moss is gonna do her breakdown of the Super Bowl tonight?
I got to dig it up. Let me hold on a minute. I think it's 7 o'clock.
Okay, man.
I know I sent it to you, right?
Yeah, you did, but I accidentally erased it.
I have it in there.
Y'all go to Brimstone Network YouTube, scroll down about 4 shows after Myra Moss. It's 4 or 5, and there will be a brother. You'll see his forehead is lit with a jewel. He got on a kufi. His name is Hamza, Hamsa, Catlet, Catlett Bay, Hamza Catlet Bay, and click on that and have your mind peeled back. It's fierce, man. It is real fierce, just like a lion. And man, hey, y'all, if we could continue like this, with bills like this, man, I think that a lot of people got helped, healed, got some insight, got great insight, man, got humbled by some of the, the motherly words about the number 4. My mom fell down, cracked her pelvic bone, and was in room number 4 in the hospital. So yeah, man, it's a real deep, man, real deep. So yeah, I want to thank everyone's participation. Right before we get out of here, let me mention one thing I noticed. Water and cats, okay? There's this chemical substance. Well, first of all, let's go to Mummy, the movie Mummy. Y'all said Mummy. They used to mummify cats in Kemet, okay? Mummify cats in Kemet. Now, mummification is a preservative. They call it formaldehyde, but over here we call it wet or water. Okay, Sherm got a lot of names, but we like to call it butt naked because it make you want to take your clothes off because it make your body heat up. It's preservative. I used to pick up dead bodies for a living, so I know about this stuff. It has a pungent odor, and I know brothers that used to smoke it. Okay, I accidentally got a hold of it because I hit my cousin's cigarette one time. I didn't know he had dipped it, and some formaldehyde, and I hit it, and I didn't think I was going to ever come back to this planet. But anyway, I know 3 people in my life. One, my cousin right here in Texas, it was the latest. But 2 brothers that I'll never forget, they had a fight, and they both was on Sherm or wet or water. They both was smoking that formaldehyde. And at the end of the fight, they start arguing with each other. And they both said, well, first, one of my friends, he asked the other one, he said, man, where you from? And they not gang members, mind you. This not a gang fight. He said, where you from? And then the one man said, I'm from Mars. Where you from? He said, nigga, I'm from Mars. Both of these brothers said they were from Mars. Now listen to this. I got a cousin. I just talked to him the other night, and I reminded him, and he's a Leo. Okay? His name is Alex. He's a Leo. Speaking of Alex and Alexandrite, one day I'm gonna have him come on the phone and tell his testimony. He smoked some wet, and he told me, he said, cuz, last night, guess where I went? I said, well, I thought he was gonna say Houston to the club or something like that. He said, I went to Mars. He said, I smoked some of that dip, and I went to Mars. And that was the 3rd person that told me that. So what is the connection with Mars, mummification, and formaldehyde? That's a question. That's a question for us to all to ponder. But after you listen to that clip with Hamza Bey, you might be able to put a couple of things together. After you listen to that clip about the relationship with Mars, cats, and formaldehyde. Okay? Y'all remember that, man. This stuff goes super deep. So, man, I got much love for everybody that was on the line tonight, man. Much respect. Y'all keep y'all brains up. I'm listening.
Okay, family. It's today at 8:30 on Professor Melanie's show. Sister Myra is going to do her decoding of the Super Bowl. Like that. I don't know her particular YouTube thing, but I did send Eric the link that she sent me. But I know it's at 8:30.
Yeah, Professor Melanie. That's why I got to put in Professor Melanie, and she has a huge YouTube following, and she the one that got Sister Myra doing this a couple of years ago. So it's super used, man. Thousands of people waiting for Sister Myra to do this breakdown because she has a book. She has a book doing each state's zodiac.
Well,
she shared that with us on the last bill we had with her on Bring It Stone. And the people that was listening to watching the live, they went and looked the book up. What the book is like, $25,000, something like that, $2,500, something like that.
Yeah,
super expensive, and the price keep going up. They don't want nobody to have that book. Each state's zodiac. So she used that with her decoding, and then she has a special link with Kendrick Lamar that she talks about, and everybody waiting. It's always fascinating because she's a legend. Bobby Hemmett brought Myra Mossam to the scene years ago, and Myra is still kicking, man, and she's a genius at this astrology. So I'm definitely gonna be tuned in to see what she has to say. Maybe we'll get around to getting her. She said she's not available until September. That's how popular she is.
Whoa.
Yep, that's right. And so tonight live will be definitely, something to tune in to. So if y'all interested in that, it'll be like a part 2 of this. It'll just be her perspective. And
yeah, now I can invite her. I just didn't want to invite her this time. Because I didn't want to go and try to get some stuff ahead of the sister show. So I didn't even send her the link. But I mean, if we want to do it, and I'll try to invite her to come in. But what we doing now, she probably be amenable to it. You know what I'm saying? And sit around and kick and talk. Because once you get her to kicking and talking, she good. You know what I mean? Like that, she ain't. Yeah, she'll kick. So that's cool. But
she does that, man. She's a brilliant Capricorn. Brilliant Capricorn. Brilliant.
Yeah, and it's funny because it go back. It was the brothers changed his name, but originally she started doing that with Coach Kair. Yeah, it didn't start with Melanie. It was Coach Kair back in the day. This probably was before Blog Talk really hit off, right? She was doing it with Kair, right? And then when they stopped, I took it up with her for a few years, 3-4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I got in. And you see, it ain't really that many on Blog Talk with me and her. This was back before that when we were doing free conference call. Remember free conference call? back in the day,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We did them on free conference calls. I wish I could go back and find that. And so then, so she's been doing it a while. And
Wow.
and she's a sports type person when it comes to football. So it really makes it interesting. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. So but
Right. Yeah, because her son was into it in the sports, and her son was Sagittarius. I think he passed. Yeah, they was Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and so was I.
mhm,
And
mhm.
so yeah, man.
And
So
then
yeah, very interesting.
you know what city she in, right? You know where she live at
He's in
now, right?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Yes,
Nebraska.
sir. Remember how you mentioned that vortex in Overhaul today? Yeah, she's
Yeah,
there. Her and Malcolm
yeah,
X
I
came out of
recognize
that
him.
jump. Mm.
Yeah. Oh man, Nebraska. Hey, listen to this. Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, man. His favorite word was
It was
Omaha.
Nebraska. Yeah, it
Omaha.
was. Yeah, it
Man,
was.
you tell me they're not called it on that place, man. And you never see Nebraska on the news for nothing, no matter what. You never see Nebraska on the news. It never makes the news. Indiana, Wisconsin, Nebraska never makes the news. Never. The only time they bring up Indiana is Indiana Jones and National Treasure.
Uh-huh.
Right? Guess where Catlit Hamza Bey's father was from, the famous jazz musician? He was from Indiana.
Oh, word.
And so was Michael Jackson. So you want to talk about cats? What about Michael Jackson Thriller? Didn't that brother turn into a cat, a werecat?
Mm-hmm.
And then he was in the movie with Ola Ray. Ola Ray, mom is a famous Hollywood actor. Her name is Ruthie Moore. Ruthie Moore.
Mm.
He had, and you go look at Michael Jackson's jacket in Thriller. He's wearing a Kansas City Chief color
Yes,
jacket.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You tell me they don't know who we are, man. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Thriller.
But
What
that's
what
what
a
I'm saying. It's like when you can. I hate to be a spoiler, but these boys, they got. It's not like they super knowledgeable, but they know the teaching systems. Because Lester
Mm-hmm.
mentioned the mommy, right? And they did that shit on the numbers, right, Baba Lester? You see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And so
yeah.
we don't control how we talk. But bro, I'm telling you, I rewound that joint. What they say, because I was on to know what this dude do to get that to work. You know what I'm saying? In that ritual, yeah, it was it. And then I
I
got
gotta go
scared to
check that
say
out.
it. Yeah, it's like it's like calling the candy man. I ain't trying it. You know what I'm saying? But
So it's the older mummy, not the new one that's up. It's like the old
no,
mummy.
No,
it's the
no,
older one.
1932,
Yes,
buddy.
yes, sir. Yeah, it's the
1932.
older one.
Wow,
Yeah.
32, man. Today is the
Mm.
23rd.
That's right.
What?
Bro, Baba said Boris Karloff, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, Corlock.
I
Yeah,
was square when Boris Karloff was doing his thing, him and Vincent Price.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Wow, Vincent Price and Boris Karloff, man. Vincent Price, man. Wow, dang, boy, BP. Yeah, interesting. Alfred Hitchcock, all them cats, man. They were dropping some bomb. The Birds, man. What? Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds. Oh man, that joint right
Mm-hmm.
there. Man. Well, birds. Hey, wait a minute. Birds. That's where gunpowder come from. Bird poop, right? Gunpowder come from bird poop. So anytime you see a movie with birds and people dying, they showing you gunpowder. How dangerous bird poop is. You know,
Wow.
salmonella and a whole bunch of other diseases. Bird Box, the movie Bird Box. People was dying. People was dying and Get Out. When they show you that black bird on the wall, homeboy say, hey, man, you better get out that house. Them people that use black people for sex slaves. Yeah, he had to get up out of there. And they showed that black bird on the wall. So anytime you see a bird, they showing you, man, the different kind. Hey, what about the eggs coming from Turkey because of bird flu right now? Yeah, right. That's like a double. That's like a double word. Bird flu. He the way
Mm-hmm.
he ain't
Mm-hmm.
flying. He flew like he on the ground now.
Right, right.
Yeah, right. Bird flu. Eggs coming from Turkey. Come on, y'all. What is this?
Are you saying chicken eggs from Turkey?
How is that possible?
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's how crazy. That's how crazy they match your mind up, man.
That's
They
right.
match your mind up with terminologies and words. That's why I said our signature is the most powerful thing we have. Our signature.
Right.
S-I is silica. G could be geometry, or G could be G for Fred G. Sanford, right? And that is nature. So you could chop it up any way you want. Your signature is golden. We was told that in the sub book, you know, a person's name is worth gold. Yeah. So we should learn the different ways to sign your name as a beneficiary. You could sign your name as a debtor. You could sign your name as a creditor. You know, many different ways to sign your name. So, man, and so as we sign off, I would love everybody to just say a few words as a sign off. And, you know, I'm raising up my quartz crystal to everybody, man. Like I said, if y'all want a black tourmaline and calcite inclusion, I'm very easy to reach. And everybody on this line has access to my phone number. You can give my phone number, Baba, to Sister Fatima, Kaya, Kevin. I'm contact everybody on the line, so it's no problem. I will send y'all a black tourmaline, and you can request to have. I have a lot of different stones, so y'all want a few stones? I'm up for sharing, man. It's a beautiful share. I want to return I want to reciprocity the love, and with that, I'm
you got any cobalt?
Oh, I don't have any cobalt, Eddie. Not at this time.
Where does that come from? Anybody know where cobalt is mined at? Okay, let that go. All right, thank y'all. Okay, I yield.
Anybody want to sign off?
Yeah, I'm USIKU, Ringiso Network. This will be on YouTube/Ringiso Network. I'll send Eric the link. I'm going to go ahead and post this one. I appreciate everybody for coming out and contributing. You know what I mean? Because it's something about the way we doing it. We get real. Not that I'm saying nobody's fake, but it's a natural flow that seems. I feel a lot more harmony. Plus, this time it's been rejuvenating for me because I've been going through some stuff myself, so I haven't been touching this side of me. So I appreciate that reawakening in me too, because I haven't. So that's it. I'm USIKU. Anybody else?
USIKU, this bill was almost 4 hours, bro.
I know, right?
3:56 right now. 3 hours and 56 minutes.
Well, okay, cobalt. You know cobalt is what I'm trying to say is Congo has the lion's share of cobalt. So most of the cobalt comes from Congo. I just want to say that this has been and continues to be a completely uplifting experience that everybody gets. You know, when a couple of years back, the big word was what was the word? Diversity. We must have diversity, but diversity is part of a two-part thing, which is to say that diversity won't even begin to work until we have pluralism. And pluralism is where everybody not only gets to speak, but they get to contribute in their way. And that's what I felt was happening today. That's my comment. Thank you.
Amen.
Come on, sisters. Come on, sisters.
Kaya Knight. Kevin.
Yes. Just want to say, in closing, with this 9 year, it's 2025 is a 9 year. Have some patience, and show that brotherly sisterly love to one another, to your neighbor, to your family. I'm not saying that it's a difficult time. It's only difficult if you make it difficult. But if we start sharing our resources, or like you said, diversity, coming together, because we have Pluto in Aquarius. So Sister Myra always say, walk in your power. You have to be secure in what you know. And that's what Aquarius energy is I know. And ain't no second guessing. It's either it is or it ain't. It's like I'm saying yes or no, yes or no. So go with what you're feeling, and cut all the noise out, the distractions out. And the movie Race, it was a little melanated boy racing, and the white people, Caucasian people were around him, saying all little things around him, and he told him, like, listen to me, and he was telling him to cut the noise out. It's gonna be there. Like Kendrick Lamar said, cut the TV off, cut it off, take it off, whatever. So just have some patience and be persistent in what you do, so you can see your fruit of your work, your project, whatever it is, manifest this year. Just go get it. Thrive. Try to thrive in it. You gotta challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. That's it.
Say word. That sounded like she was talking to me right there. So thank you for that, sister. Thank you, brother USIKU. I appreciate you for letting me be on the platform. I want to thank you so much for that. Baba Lester, I got that almanac.
Okay.
Brother E, I'll talk to you a little bit later on. One more thing I can tell you guys real quick how to make some onion powder. You make your own onion powder. You take the leaves and go ahead and put them in the oven at like 180. Let them dry out and go ahead and blend them up. Boom. They have more antioxidants than the onion itself. And yield on that. Thank you, guys.
We talked about the thin layer. The thin layer of crystals is the most powerful. That's the same thing with the onions. Man, wow, look at that. And the onion is a capacitor itself. It's folding inside of itself, just like a buckyball. The onion, man, that's powerful, Kevin. Thank you so much. And that goes right into what Baba said about the mica, the thin slices, the thin layers. Yeah. Wow. Give thanks.
Can I say something?
Eddie? Yes.
Each one of us are chosen by the universe of I'm searching for the word to serve humanity as we are all reaching for a spiritual enlightenment, but we should also, in our meditations, reach for the light and the energy to advance humanity. All of you that are on here are chosen and have unique gifts. And I'm thankful that I was able to be a part of this session. And each one of you are very, very special and has special gifts. And each one of us needs to reach in our meditation for humanity of peace and harmony. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Sister Fatima, I got a question for you. The cat that left with your husband. What was that cat's name? Fatima, are you there? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, his name was Baby.
Oh, baby. Oh, I thought you said something like wow or something. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, his name was Baby. Um, yeah, I I hold back in talking a lot because sometimes uh, other human beings may not have had an experience that I've had spiritually, and that goes for all of us. And when you share your what you has been given to you, if they haven't experienced it, uh, it it goes over like a lead balloon. But I appreciate being a part of a group that is their minds are open and there's no one thinking it's a lead balloon.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Ain't that right? A lead balloon. It's in the air, but it's
Hey man, I've heard conversation, a lead balloon. Oh man, yeah.
And what rock group took that concept? Led Zeppelin.
wow.
That's a lead balloon.
Wow. Go ahead, Doc. Keep being you. Wow. Greatest currency on the planet is us. That's all I want to say. Thank us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We are one.
Mm-hmm.
The time is 4 hours and 5 minutes. 9.
9. That's it.
Yeah. With that, y'all, I'm kirking out. Until such
thanks.
time, more time.
Be family. I appreciate you.
Everything is on the 9.
So, on the 9.